pause. Pull it up on my phone. Pull it up on my phone. Hello. Me. I'm back. Let me know how it sounds and looks. Whether or not it's laggy. I'm gonna try and monitor this on my phone. Okay, let's see. Oh no, it's laggy. What do I do about the laggy? Thank you, guys. Yeah, I'm streaming on a different day than I normally do. Incidentally, I've been mostly streaming on... Oh, hold on a second. It's bad! It's lagging! Why is this happening to me? Well, no one seems to care, but I don't know. It seems kind of laggy on my end anyway, so I'm gonna see what's going on. Do I have the Wi-Fi turned off? If I just start talking, like, can you guys, is the audio at least not cutting out? I don't want to start answering questions and stuff if my audio is cutting out. I think if the video is cutting out, that's fine, but, like, it will be, like, insufferable if you have to listen to, like, audio cutting in and out. Now it's good? Okay. I think it just has, like, a little bit of a you know, revving up problem. I think it just kind of has a hard time starting. Like, all of my, you know, the like, spike in, like, memory that happens when you start something. Okay, my Wi-Fi's off. My Ethernet is in. Okay, I'm gonna trust you guys if you say it's good. At least that the audio is good. It's very behind on my... Here, I'm gonna try and catch up. I'm behind in my own stream. How does that happen? I don't understand time. Okay, there we go. Now it's caught up. Okay. Alrighty, guys. Same problems as last time. Not gonna fix them probably ever unless I become a professional streamer. When do you think you'll finish filming the second episode? I don't know. I actually ran into kind of a problem today because I was like, you know what? Actually, what if no. I'm gonna refresh this. I ran into sort of a problem today because I was like, the thing that I had been animating for you guys on stream was cleaning and coloring something, which was like, I didn't need to do a lot of thinking about it because it was just clean and color. it's just tedious, you know, but I don't have to like use my brain a lot. So I was working on that, and and that once I finished that, I was like, okay, now what do I work on stream? Because now I'm like opening up a file that's like I haven't touched in several months, and I gotta look at it and see what it needs and see what's wrong with it. And anyway, and the file that I had opened up was like, the dialogue was kind of weird. Like, it was just like a little too, there was too much of it. It was like, blah, 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 this sentence, and also this sentence. And it was like, I can get rid of and also this sentence. We don't need it. It's not necessary. But it was one of those scenes where, like, I don't know if you've noticed this, but I like to do that really obnoxious thing where, like, a character says a piece of dialogue and it gets repeated back to them later in a different context. And that happens in this scene. So it's like, well, if I edit one end of this dialogue, I also need to edit what the other character says when they repeat it back. And I thought that was going to be like a whole ordeal. I had to open up the file, the work file from the animatic, and like mess with the audio, and I think it's fine. I think I actually edited together a version of it that works, but I didn't know that. I like started working on it and I was like, I can't do this. This is too much. I was like, anyway, but then the next day I listened to it and I was like, oh, this sounds fine. I don't know, like, this is it. I did it. Like, I don't know what I thought it was missing. But still it needs to be, but now because 2.5 sentences have been like trimmed from it, now the animation is a little off. Or I feel like I need to sort of reframe this, because like now we're not saying this sentence, so I don't need this shot, because and part of it, like, I'm looking at this scene and it's like, oh, I don't remember when I animated this. It might have been during quarantine. That might have been when I did the rough animation. But it looks like I was in get it fucking done mode. So it's not very interesting animation. It's like not very fun to watch. It's kind of just like characters standing there talking. And like, but it should be better than that. Like, it should be more interesting than that, in my opinion. So that was one of the other problems, is like, well, if I cut down on some of these sentences, then I have to do less animation. I have to think of less stuff for these characters to do to be interesting while they're saying the lines. If the lines just get to the point, then it's not going to be so obvious that I was just like in get this fucking done mode. And now because it's shorter, I feel like the animation that I'm going to have to redo is going to be better because of it. Like, it's more to the point and interesting, and I'm not just like trying to fill time, if that makes sense. You didn't ask for any of this, but that was the next scene I was going to work on. And I'm like, well, that is not something I can do and stream at the same time, because it's like reworking something and also doing something from scratch and like deciding on when does this cut happen. And anyway, so I thought I was gonna work on, anyway, all of the scenes that are left have like some version of something that's a little too complicated for me to work on stream. Like, I should figure it out. I should figure out the preliminary stuff off stream and then like stream me just doing the getting it done part. But right now nothing's in a just autopilot get it done state that I can think of. Like, everything needs like a little bit of work. So for this stream, I thought I'm either going to, well, I just found a shot that I think I can, it does require some actual thinking, but I think I can do it on stream. I don't think it'll be too hard. But I also have this like fake anime OP that I was working on, which was like, I posted this on my Patreon, but if I really can't think of anything to do, oh no, the color was wrong there. Anyway, if I can't think of anything to do, I'll just work on this fucking anime OP. I have like a shading pass that I can do on it. So I don't know. I guess I could like let you guys pick. Like, do you want to see me work out some rough animation or like go on a side quest? Just, I don't know, for like a thing that I'll eventually post. That's not technically part of Welcome to Hell 2, unless I make it part of Welcome to Hell 2 by just making it open with an anime OP. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know how long it's gonna take. I gotta figure out some stuff off stream, but I didn't want to go a whole week without streaming, so yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna try and work on this, and also maybe a different thing. I also kind of thought maybe I could just draw if I can't think of anything to do on stream. Someone asked, how long have you been animating for? Do you mean like in my life or like on Welcome to Hell 2? On Welcome to Hell 2, I don't know. In my life, I've been animating, I guess, since I went to school for animation, which was in 2010. That's the first year that I went to school for it. I had attempted to animate, like, a couple little things here and there before going to school for it. But I don't think I really, like, got it conceptually. And I thought I must be doing something wrong because it takes a long time. And then when I went to school for it, I figured out, no, it just takes a really long time. And I'm doing something wrong because I wasn't really doing anything wrong. I just was kind of like, I don't understand. Like, why is this moving so slow? I put a ton of frames in it, and it's like, that's the opposite of how it works. Like, I don't think I understood the mechanics of it, I guess, or the math of it, the physics of it, sort of. Not like the physics, like the 12 principles, but I mean like the idea that like if you draw a whole bunch of frames, something animates really smoothly and slowly. If you just do like bum bum bum, it goes, you know what I mean? Like, so like I didn't understand that. But anyway, I've been like animating, I guess, since 2010. God, that's weird to think about. I've been animating for 15 years. That's pretty cool. And I'm still learning every single day. Since Meph likes Sock, is there a possibility he'd get attached to him? Yeah. I love the idea of doing something with that later. Like, he kind of already says up front, like, oh, you remind me of myself. So I think there's something to that. Like, I think he sees a lot of potential in Sock, and I think you could get attached to him in a way that's like, I mean, I like the idea of characters who aren't supposed to get attached to each other getting attached to each other. Trying to think of Sock as kind of like maybe not exactly a son, but like what do you call it? Like an apprentice or something. And, Sock having like sort of, a type of father figure that like approves of what he's doing a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. I really like that idea. How the years have passed. What's your favorite Labubu? I don't have a favorite Labubu. I think my favorite color of Labubu is just the brown one. Is the original one brown? Like, I like when creepy little guys are like normal animal colors, if that makes sense. I mean, I like that they come in all these different colors and all these different ones. I'm sorry, I misgendered Labubu. Did I say he a second ago? I'm pretty sure Labubu is a she. That wasn't very woke of me. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't think I have a favorite. I'm not like super deep into Labubu-dom. I like that they exist. I like that they're popular. I like that we like have kind of a cute, creepy, a Furby-like thing again. Also, I'm sorry, I'm like just looking at the chat right now and not animating, but I just want to make sure I want to catch up a little bit. I love the anime OP. Jonathan said he's done with Sock. Oh, okay. How long have you been animating for on Welcome to Hell? I don't know. I think I started working on Welcome to Hell 2 in like, I don't want to admit this because it's been too long. I feel like it was in 2015 or 16 is when I started it, but that would have been doing storyboards. I don't know when I started animating it exactly. I'd have to look at my Patreon. I'd have to look at my Patreon. Let's see. Let's see. Labubu had a gender. Yeah, she's a girl. She has a boyfriend too. There's like a little, I think, a skeleton. Like there's different of the monsters or whatever. There's like Labubu and like she has a bunch of different friends and they're all these different freaky little monsters. Like Labubu's just like kind of the one that took off. Also, sorry, I'm just like constantly putting my head in the camera. I'm looking at my phone, which is down here. Okay. What's the hardest part about animating with software? Is there something the software could do differently to make your life easier? Yeah, welcome, Joaquin. If that is your real name. No, I'm just kidding. I was going to say, animating with software. I think generally software makes things easier. Like, I don't think there's practically nothing that it does that's worse than animating on like pencil and paper. I mean, I think like the immediate feeling of animating on pencil and paper traditionally is like a better overall feeling. But what's nice about animation software is it has like a built-in playback feature, you know what I mean? Like back in the day, you know, you're animating something on paper, you had to like shoot it under a camera to test it, to play it back. And they made tools for that. There's something called a lunchbox, a lunchbox DV. And it's like the size of a lunchbox. It's this thing, and it's this interface essentially that you hook up to a camera, and it has little, but it's almost like you can picture the buttons on like a boombox or a tape player or something. You know, there's like a play and a rewind and whatever, or you know, or like, you know, to go forward one frame or whatever. It's got these big chunky buttons on it. It's very. I should just post a picture of one in chat. But anyway, it's about yay big, and it's got all these buttons on it, and you hook it up to a camera and you shoot the paper under a down shooter. There's like a camera up here pointing down, and then it's connected to a monitor, right? And it plays back the footage that you shot, the sequence, on a monitor, and you know, and that was how you would test your animation back when it was on paper. Like, or I mean, that's as of when they had those, you know, like before that. Actually, I don't know how people tested it beforehand. Like, I don't know when they invented lunchbox TVs. Like, I'm guessing in the 70s or 80s, but I don't know. I'm gonna look that up. Anyway, not important, but when did they... Google's not even gonna know what I'm talking about. When did they invent lunchbox DV for animation? No! 1998?! Oh, I thought they were around since, like, the 80s at least. What did people do? What did people do before 1998? Wow. I don't know. Well, this is something for me to look into later. But anyway, the point is, you had to take all of your physical frames over to a camera, click, 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 and then, like, play it back to, like, test what your animation looked like, right? And it was, like, fairly sophisticated for the time. Like, you know, you could go in and you could edit frames or remove frames or tell it to hold and stuff like that. But it was, you know, it was trickier. It was more cumbersome. Like, now I can just hit a button and it plays back what I've been working on, you know? So there's a lot of ways in which software has just made things infinitely easier. I mean, I think nothing beats the feeling of drawing with pencil and paper, you know? But as for the actual, like, the overall process has been made, like, infinitely easier by technology. Wow, I mean, I literally can't even imagine, like, I'm describing this thing that I think is really bulky and ridiculous, and it sounds insane to even, like, think about shooting on a lunchbox now, but, like, those have been around since only 1998? I don't know. Did people just animate something and pray that it worked? I actually don't know. I probably do know, and I'm just like, there's some like stupid piece of information that I'm just not thinking of. Wow. If my animation history professor is in this chat, as he sometimes does show up, he would be screaming right now that I don't know this. Okay, so that's not gonna work. That frame's not gonna work. I'm trying to do a walk cycle of, like, this is such rough, insane animation. Like, you're really getting to see some, like, bullshit that's, like, not worked out yet. But I gotta do it with a walk. He needs a walk cycle as he's doing this. How does he land? Oh, he just doesn't have legs. That's cool. He just doesn't have legs. Great. Great. Fuck me. Okay. I'm gonna catch up on the chat. Need a break from thinking about my decisions. Thinking about my life choices. I don't think you're a bot, by the way, Joaquin. I'm sorry that everyone thought you were a bot. Let's see. It isn't looking too hot in this frame. I can feel the pain through the scene. Thank you. How did you discover Irish stew of Sintidun? Oh, okay. Joaquin's a pretty new fan. You just found out about a couple weeks ago. That's awesome. How I discovered Irish stew, actually, I was looking for, like, some placeholder music to go in that in the montage, and I just went to, like, a website that was, like, free music, like, you know what I mean, like, free music, like, I didn't want stock music, Like I didn't want instrumental music. I wanted like free like band music that I could use. And it was just a website that had like bands that had like listed some of their music for free, like for fair use, I guess. And there was a couple tracks from Irish Stew up there. And I clicked on it because a couple of their tracks had... There was one called Blessed and Damned, I believe, and I was like, oh, that's fun. That's kind of helly. And so I clicked on that. And then I think the other track that was on this website was I Will Never Be Your Friend. And I was like, wait a second. But maybe I just like dug into their discography. I'm not really sure. Maybe I was just kind of listening to them. But that's definitely how. And I just like reached out to them and said like, hey, can I use your song in my like student film? And they were like, yeah. So that's how I discovered them. I was looking for free music to use in my thing. Who animated the U2 short promo for the sock plushie with Meth? I presume it was you, but I was curious on the process. That was me. Curious on the process. So what they did was like U2's, they handle like pretty much everything, like all of the social media posts and stuff that are like, oh, coming soon or whatever, and there's like a photo of the plushie or whatever. And they give you a schedule that you need to follow in terms of like, oh, on this day post this thing on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube or whatever, and then on this day post this, and you know, so on. But one of the things is they want you to make two YouTube videos. One is like an announcement for the plushie, and then one is the plushie is live. And they kind of let you do whatever for those videos. They might have certain requirements, like, you know, show the URL that people can go to, or, you know, or whatever. There's stuff like that. But, or, oh, you need to say this, or make sure you say that it's only available for this long, or whatever it is. But they kind of let you handle the video however you want. And some of the other creators in the past have done animated ones. So they're like, if you want to do an animated one, that would be great. You don't have to, but like, it would be cool. And I was kind of like, yeah, I'll try. Like, so that was something I thought, like, what can I animate fairly quickly? And it's like, well, the easiest person that I have access to of the voice actors is Nemo, who does Mephistopheles, and I can just animate Mephistopheles talking about the sock plushie, and I animated it kind of on like, because I was like kind of, I had sort of a lot on my plate, and I didn't want to get too sidetracked with like a thing that I needed to do, so I kind of like, I'm actually pretty proud of myself. I should try and implement this in the future, but I kind of came up with a way to animate it where it wouldn't take all the fucking time in the world. It's a little more limited than how I normally animate. But I was like, I can just have him like kind of snap from pose to pose really quickly. And just have that be sort of the whole thing. Yeah, and get it cleaned and colored pretty quickly. I did a lot of like reusing poses and stuff that I'd already like drawn, but kind of like just shifting it a little, which I do sometimes now, but I usually like, I'll do that just as a temp thing, and then I'll redraw it. Like, I'll kind of like, maybe I drew like a really good hand. And I will say something, drawing hands does get easier the more you practice doing it, but when you draw a really good hand, you're like, damn, that's a good hand. I don't want to draw that shit again. So like, say I drew a really good hand, and now it needs to be here. I'm like, I'm just gonna paste that hand and fucking tilt it this way. You know, and like, and if I think it looks a little too like choppy, then I will like just draw on top, like I'll just trace over it. Essentially, I'll use that hand as a reference, to make it look, you know, smoother. But I think with that Mephistopheles promo, I kind of like did just like reuse a bunch of poses. Just like, whatever, like who cares? I'm trying to get this done quickly. And I don't really think it's super noticeable. I mean, to me it looks, I don't know, but we also like have not seen like a cleaned and colored animated Mephistopheles yet in the mainline like thing. Like in Welcome to Hell 2 so far, he's not been cleaned. I mean, none of the first film was cleaned or colored, so that was kind of my first time cleaning and coloring Mephistopheles. And I think it worked all right, but yeah, I ought to try doing that again. Pumpkin Rabbit PFP? I don't know what Pumpkin Rabbit is, but that sounds cute. Dude, who are the VAs? I love every voice in this series, but mostly Uncle Mephi. Uncle Mephi is my friend Nemo Morrissey. They're really dope. They are also on YouTube, and they're actually working on an animatic, right? Like an animatic series. They just posted like a pilot, a while ago, and they're working on an episode 2. If you want, I can link. I think I can do links. I can link you to their YouTube channel. They do voice work. I mean, they do their own voice work as well now too. And they've done voices in like other people's stuff as well. If you want to get more of Nemo's voice, I'll just send you their YouTube. Let's see. But yeah, can I just post that? Let's see if it works. Yeah, what's really fun about working with Nemo is they're really good at what do you call it? Ad-libbing. So like Mephistopheles is like a character that like Nemo kind of helped me figure out the voice for Mephistopheles. Like initially I pictured him more like proper, like kind of because he thinks he's better than everyone. So I kind of pictured him like a sort of like a Frasier kind of character, if that makes sense. But when I first pitched the animatic in school, Nemo like came up to me and was like, just like, dude, what if the devil talked like this? And was like just doing this voice. And I was like, I've told this story like a billion times, but they were just like, yeah, I'd kill myself too if my name was Sock. And I was just like, that's so much funnier. Like, do you want to do the voice? So like whenever I've like written Mephistopheles, I'll write the line kind of like how I would write it, and then I'll tell Nemo like, you can ad-lib this a little bit, like you can sort of like say it a couple different ways, say it how, like if this feels uncomfortable or doesn't like roll off the tongue the right way for you, like just say it however you want or however you think is funny, and then we'll kind of like whittle that down to the take that I want, you know what I mean? I like working really collaboratively like that, and that's fun to do, especially when your friends aren't professional voice actors. Like you like I think they're more interested in I don't know, you get interesting results when you collab with people that, you know, like, I don't know, you're sort of coming at it from a point of like, we're both just doing this. We're both just doing each other a favor. You know what I mean? Like, and so, yeah, like, so maybe Nemo will say something like, oh, well, you know, her up there or something, like referring to God. And I'll say like, oh, that's a great take, but like, can we do it without the up? Cause like, I don't like in just like the rules or whatever that I have for like Welcome to Hell, I don't want heaven to be referred to as up or hell to be referred to as down. Cause I don't think like directions exist in like, if it's a separate plane of existence, then, like, does it really need to be up or down? Like, isn't it kind of all just sideways? I don't know. So I have, like, my own weird little quirks where I'm like, oh, this is a really funny line, but Mephistopheles wouldn't say this. Like, could you use this word instead? Or something like that. And then we'll kind of, like, work out what the line is going to be. But Nemo's really, really good at, like, at my neurosis at dealing with all of my little things, and yeah, so they're really fun to work with. The other voice actors is Doug, who is my animation professor. He does the voice of Jonathan, and Caitlin, who is a professional voice actress. She's currently the voice of Minnie Mouse, actually. I mean, she does all kinds of stuff, but currently I think her biggest role is she's motherfucking Minnie Mouse. But anyway, so she's great. Yeah. And what's fun about working with I've only ever worked with one professional voice actor, which was Caitlin. And what's great about her is, like, she'll look at the script and, like, read it in a way that is, like, that I didn't know I needed. You know what I mean? Like, she'll take the line I wrote and, like, read it 3 different ways, and one of them is, like, a way that I didn't even picture, and it's like, that's the one, like, that's the read, like, how did you know? Like, you did it, like, with the correct emotion and delivery, and also you made it funny, like, you know, I don't know, she's just like, I mean, that's what happens when you're a professional, like, you know how to do all that shit. I'm just like, how did you do that? Like, it's such a needle to have to thread, and she's just, like, insanely good at it. Sokka's a little different than the range she normally does. She normally does, like, old ladies and Minnie Mouse, Miss Piggy type characters, you know? She also does Jonathan's mom, so which is more, like, in her wheelhouse, I think. But I think she does great with Sok. You know, I think she does a great job. I don't know if this is gonna work. I'm gonna try and animate for a second. Ugh, these steps are gonna suck. I actually don't know if I should just keep him walking the way he is, but it just feels like he does something kind of stupid right here. He, like, stumbles. I'm, like, trying to figure out, well, how do I make him stumble? I don't like that. Alright. So the lines are recorded before you animate the speech. Yeah. Oh, wait. Hold on a second. I have an important text from wife. When I have a moment, I need to check and see if tonight's frittata needs milk. We're having some friends over for dinner, And she's making a frittata. But she's got to tell me where to find that recipe. I don't know. It's the only frittata in the cookbook, and it's in the dinner section. You might find it in the table of contents. All right, chat. We're doing it. Look up to see if the frittata needs milk with me. I'll get back to the chat and answering your questions in a second, but right now, we're gonna look and see if the frittata needs milk. Okay. It's the only frittata in the book. Table of contents. We got a cookbook recently. Ooh, there is a table of contents. And we've made 2 recipes from it. And the other day, she said to me, well, 2 down, so I guess we're going to cook everything in the book. Which I love. But, okay. Alright. Frittata. It's the only frittata in the book. Like, what is it called? Like, something frittata? Mushroom toasts. Omelet. Oh! Spring herb frittata. Frittata. Frittata? Hakuna frittata. We're doing it. Oh, yeah, what? I said it, and then I just started flipping through the book without looking at the page number. Alright, guys. 251. 251. Spring herb frittata. Dill fronds. No, I don't think it does need that. 4th cup of cream fraiche at room temperature. No, it doesn't. But I need to go check something else. I need to see if we still have something. No! Oh, goodness. It's okay, you guys. Don't worry. The frittata does not need milk. It does need creme fraiche, which we have. I just wanted to make sure we had enough. We do. Don't worry, you guys. The frittata is still happening. The frittata is still on. All right, let me tell her. Oh, take a pic of the page. Oh. Alrighty. You guys all still with me? I know you were really worried about the frittata. Okay. Let me catch up. Someone asked about the lip sync. Or about, yeah, record the lines and then animate to them. Since John's mom is a nurse, is it possible he would catch on to small medical related things? Maybe. Possibly. I don't know how much of it she brings home. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how much of... Possibly. Like, because I don't know how much of it is, like, nurse jargon, like, medical lingo. Like my parents ran a, my parents had a lawn care business, actually, that they ran out of our house, out of our garage. And so I, like, grew up around, like, hearing them talk about lawn care stuff all the time, like different treatments for your lawn and different types of weeds and I could not tell you the first fucking thing about lawn care. Like, I could not. If you put a gun to my head, I couldn't identify what crabgrass looks like. That's not true. I probably could identify what crabgrass looks like because I think I Googled it once. But, like, anyway, so I don't know. Like, I'm not sure. Like, I think sometimes you might hear the words and know the words, but not necessarily, like, what the application is, if that makes sense. But maybe. I've had that thought before. I think it's more likely, actually, that, like, I don't know, that maybe Jonathan's mom would, like, pick up on, oh, something's not right with Jonathan. But I don't know. I don't exactly know. This is weird. I'm, like, animating him at an angle, and also it's super rough right now, so it doesn't really make any sense. And it will continue to not make sense. I'm gonna put, this is gonna be end, and this is gonna be the beginning. No, green, make it green, just for this sequence, for this loop. If I just, like, kind of reference what his legs are supposed to be doing if he were walking normally, then I think we'll figure this out. We're gonna figure this out together, don't you guys worry. I don't know what a frittata is. It does sound fried. The fr part of it makes it sound fried. I think it's like eggs. It's like an eggy dish. It's like a creamy, I think it's a kind of pastry. But, like, or maybe like a kind of something like quiche. I was just looking at a picture of it. I couldn't tell you what it is. Miranda U2's. Oh, that's Miranda from U2's. Hi. Have a good stream. And frittata. Thank you. Oh, that's cool. I'm sorry, I didn't notice she was in the chat. Did someone mention U2's? That's funny. Wait a second. That's so funny. My Miranda U2's is my U2's rep. I didn't know she was in the stream. That's so funny. She popped in. She started talking when people were talking about U2's. That's funny. Where's Miss Wife? Miss Wife is at work. She has a real job, so she's at work. Frittata is like an advanced omelet, yes. There's a baby pic of blonde Jonathan. Does this confirm theory that he actually is naturally blonde? either he's okay. Wait, there's a baby pic of blonde Jonathan. Right, did I make his hair blonde in the baby pic? I think I did. I think my theory for my own character is that he I think he's blonde and he dyes the undercut brown. So, yeah, I think he is maybe naturally blonde. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Maybe he's just been dyeing his hair since he was a baby. I don't know. Let's see. I loved your art style. Thank you. I just got here, lol. What's that face? Oh yeah, it's like mid saying some crazy lines, so that's why he's like making some crazy faces. Uh, Something I always wanted to ask you since I was a kid is what was your inspiration for Jonathan? He always looked so unique to me. What? Sorry, what is this? There's something. I feel like I'm being teased, but I'm not sure. I don't know what I said maybe possibly to, but I guess I say maybe possibly a lot. Is that, is that what we're talking about? I'm a Libra, okay? Like, I'm always trying to, like, weigh my options. I'm never making a decision about shit. It's all maybe possibly, all the way down. Asking me to make a decision is kind of a microaggression. Um, no, let's see. Sorry, someone asked something. What was my inspiration for Jonathan? For his look? Um, so it's kind of funny because I feel like in the 20 like tens, I feel like this type of character that was like blonde with like a dark undercut or like that haircut for a while. Like I saw that on a lot of people. I designed Jonathan before that like cut was really popular. Um but I was kind of referencing in my mind just like kind of like a 90s bowl cut, but I wanted it to be more stylized and punky and like have like what is now called an undercut, you know what I mean? Like just like short in the back and then like floofy on the top, middle parted bowl cut, but like it floofs out at the ends, like it floofs like that. That was what I was thinking. Just because like it was kind of a haircut in the 90s. It was kind of a moment that we had in the 90s. I don't think that's gonna work with his legs. I think he needs to. Sorry, I'm not committed to anything. I think maybe it needs to be like that, and he needs to be like. I was just gonna do one leg at a time for a second. Yeah, it was just kind of like a 90s cut that I wanted to do like sort of an update, a spin on. And this was like, and I also noticed like it's like I came up with Jonathan with his design in like I don't know, I'd have to look at like some of my oldest art of him on like I'd have to look and see when I posted it on DeviantArt, but like I think probably 2006 or 7 or so, like around there, like pre 2010s, like early 2000s. And and then like in the 20 teens or so, like 2010s, 20 teens, I feel like there was a lot of different characters and things who had that haircut. And I was like, no! Like, I mean, it's fine. Like, it's cool that other people like that other. I feel like it was like kind of a thing for a while. There's like that one character from Attack on Titan that has that hair. I said there was like quite a few anime characters for a bit, excuse me, who had that hair, and I was just like, no, that was gonna be my thing. Anyway, it's I think it's still doable. Like, I think you just kind of like, he has a very stylized version of just like a blonde undercut, I guess, bowl cut undercut, and I don't know. That's just asking about, that's just his hair, because like nothing else about him is all that unique. He's just wearing like a baggy hoodie and like chucks. I just wanted him to be like, my thought with Jonathan was like, he should be kind of plain and like boring. Gray hoodie, jeans, and like chucks. I mean, I wanted to make him a little interesting, so the chucks are a specific color. And they like, and he has fun headphones. Actually, someone else came up with the headphone color. Someone on DeviantArt, I believe, drew fan art. I think they were the first person to make his headphones purple. Maybe I'm misremembering that. But, boy, I don't know if I can actually do this frame without figuring out the whole key pose. I don't know why I think I can just do the sorry, I can't animate and talk at the same time, apparently. Funny, I thought I could stream. Oh shit, did I do a 6-7? Oh my god, you guys. Fucking beast. Christian Bale haircut. Oh man. Yeah, it was just a big 90s hairstyle. And I wanted to, and the other thing that's like kind of, I guess, a stylized version of that haircut is it does the 90s anime thing of like, if you look at any like 90s anime, their hair goes up and then down, you know? Like, it was just a thing that we were doing. Like, now anime characters have more naturalistic kind of like bangs, but in the 90s it was like brr, brr. Like, I don't know, just look up like just fucking any anime from the 90s. They had this like, the bangs went up first and then down, and I kind of liked that. I always really liked that. A lot of Don Bluth protagonists also had that hair. I mean, it wasn't like a drastic up and then down bang, but it was like this fluffy, like voluminous 90s boy haircut. So that was kind of that, I guess. I don't know what else is interesting about him. I wanted him to look comfy, I guess. Like, kind of boring, but also cozy. Just like, he's not really, he's sort of underdressed, I guess, because Sock's outfit is so extreme. Actually, I gotta not do these legs. I'm just gonna skip out on these poses for a second. This is insane. What was I thinking when I animated this? Or when I did these roughs? But yeah, I don't know. I hope that kind of answers the question. Sorry, I'm gonna try and figure this out real quick. What does he do? What does he go to after this? Oh, he goes into like another stupid pose. Fuck. Ah! Okay. Maybe. Okay, so we'll make those custom leggies. Those will be custom leggies. And the other ones will be part of a cycle. Maybe. I'll have to make them. I just didn't animate his body. There's like a lot of layers to this. Okay. This is probably not something I should animate on stream. Not because it's spoilery or anything, but because it's needlessly complicated. Or it's like something I haven't opened in a really long time that like kind of requires some figuring out. But I thought I could do it. We'll see. If it gets too stupid, I'll just switch to something else. But let's see. Okay, he's kind of hunching over right there. I could use this. Just more or less the same pose. Take this hoodie shape. Just roughly. Oh wow. Lag. I'm just gonna spread that out. Let's see what it does. Just keep it to there. I think that's fine. Keep it in there. Man, this is rough. This is what happens when I like start to animate something and like I have a specific idea in my mind about like what I want the hands to do, so I just like animated the hands and then like no other parts of the body. Like he's got it's not gonna play back correctly if I just play it at regular speed, but I have this like crazy hand acting that I wanted to do. And like, anyway, it's just, so that was the focus, right? And you can see I'm just kind of like moving. So there's some custom poses too, because like the dialogue was really specific here, so I needed like specific mouth shapes. But then I didn't do the hair, and I didn't do, or like I did the body because I needed to sort of make sense of where that was at. But then it's like, I'll just, you know, like I'll leave something behind if it's not like what I'm working on currently. And then I have to go back and figure out like, wait, what is that shape doing right now? Anyway. And he's supposed to be walking while this is happening. So I'm like, I'll have to figure that out in a second. All right, let's see. Always loved your art style. Thank you. We need Bald Jonathan, bro. Baldathan. Bald by his 20s. Okay. Do angels retain injuries differently than demons do? Is there a default for angels versus demons, or is it entirely up to the individual? Do angels retain injuries differently than demons do? I don't know. I honestly don't know how the demons retaining their injuries works out. I just liked the idea of Sock having like still having like the wound from where he stabbed himself, and it being like glowy and weird and ethereal because he's not like actually like alive anymore, so it's not like it's just like constantly dripping blood or something, like ethereal, like non-real, you know what I mean? Like it's just, it doesn't, also it goes like, I think in the animation it goes straight through him, which is ridiculous. It's not literally gonna go straight through him, I guess, but I don't know, I just kind of liked that idea. It was like a thing, a gross fun thing I could give him. But I don't know entirely. I don't know if it's just like injuries that, if it's like the wound that caused their death. I feel like that could get pretty gross pretty quickly. Or if it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just people who killed themselves, or maybe it's like, I don't know. I'm not really sure. I haven't decided how that works yet. So I don't know if it works differently for angels. I think for angels, they probably just don't have injuries. Like, it makes more sense to me that they would still keep their injuries in hell. um, um, Also, he's not flying. He's, there's a, the horizon line is kind of weird. It's like this. It's like at an angle. It's a Dutch angle. I just don't have, like, the, he's, like, coming up over a hill, towards the camera. Like that. So that's why it's, like, but I have that turned off because I don't need it for right here, for just animating this. You're gonna see how you're leaning the legs from the freezer frame to make the next one. That's really cool. Thank you. That's basically, yeah. That's a good way to just keep track of, I don't know, volume and, or for that matter, movement. Like if you're doing a walk cycle or something, like once you figure out what one of it looks like, you just like repeat that over and over again, and you can kind of paste it. Because he's moving a little bit each time, I don't know if his legs can cycle precisely. I think there's going to have to be a little bit of custom, because he's stumbling around a little bit. So I'm kind of trying to like reference the cycle that I have here. Like these are just cycling. But then right here, he starts like stumbling and doing some weird stuff. So I need to kind of figure that out. And then go back into the cycle. Okay, let's see. I know this is something people always ask to artists, but do you have some tips for the rest of us mortals who can't draw hands this good? Just practice drawing hands, honestly. Like, just fill a page in your sketchbook with hands. And the more you draw them, the better you'll get at them. Like, I think what helped me was, like... So, I used to, when I was younger, if I was drawing something, I'd be drawing, like, an illustration. Like, oh, here's my character doing this pose, or whatever, right? But then you're just like, the hands aren't right. The hands aren't right. Like, they're not exactly right for this pose. How do I do the hand? Like, you're just focused on, like, how do I make them work for this particular drawing? And I still have that problem. Like, for whatever it's worth, like, I feel like very recently I was like, I don't know how to draw hands. Like, because it was a specific illustration I was doing or a specific pose, and I kept having to draw and redraw it, and it didn't feel right no matter what I did. But I think it honestly, it gets easier just the more you do it. So, like, I was thinking about this the other day too, because I was going to draw something in my sketchbook, and I had the realization that I don't really just do illustrations in my sketchbook anymore. I just kind of fill pages with like a practice, like a study of figuring something out. Like, hold on, I have a sketchbook right here. Do I have a page of hands? This one might not have hands in it. This one's more like taking notes. Okay, that's not going to work. Do I have hands in here? I post my sketchbooks on my Patreon. That's why I was drawing in my sketchbook the other day, because I realized I didn't have anything to post on Patreon from my sketchbook. I'm just going to hold up a page of hands from an old sketchbook, and maybe you can see what I'm talking about. This one's too new. This doesn't have anything good in it. And sometimes I'll just do that for fun. Like, if I don't know what to draw, which is all the fucking time. Like, if I'm just like, oh, I want to doodle, but I don't really know what to doodle. Like, just draw hands. Like, just start drawing, like, a page full of hands. And who cares what they're for or what they're connected to. Just, like, think of a hand, picture it, and try and draw it. Or look at your own hand, you know, if you need a specific pose. Ooh, that's a cool drawing. Okay, let's find some motherfucking hands. There's hands. I haven't done this in a while. Well, there's just hands and other things. But, like, I don't know how well this is going to show up on stream, but this is just, like, a page of doodles, and I was just, like, drawing random hands. And, like, you know, it's just, they don't have to be good, even. Like, you can just draw, like, crazy hands at, like, weird angles and stuff. Like, I'm always thinking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Hands. They're always so insane. They're always, like, doing this shit at the camera. Yeah, just draw a page of hands, like, and not worrying about what the context of the hand is. Like, it's not attached to a character in an illustration that you're doing. It's just a page full of random hands. And just do that when you can't think of what to draw. Anything that you have a hard time drawing. And you'll actually find that it's pretty fun. Like, hands are actually really fun to draw if you're just drawing, like, a page of out-of-context hands, and you're not really worried about, well, I need this character that I'm drawing to be doing this thing with their hands. It's actually pretty fun. And I think that will eventually kind of, like, make it click in your mind. It's just kind of with anything. Like, the more you do it, the better you get at it. I also think if you're just doing it, like, on autopilot, really, without thinking about it, then you're I think part of it is overthinking it. Like, I think part of the problem when trying to figure out how to draw something that you struggle with is kind of overthinking it a little bit. Usually when I just, like, shard out a hand, it looks pretty okay. And then sometimes when I go in and try and, like, refine it, I'm like, oh man, I'm losing it. Like, I lost the page I was on in here. Oh, it's not important. Anyway, but yeah, just doodle out some hands. Like, these hands are not, like, particularly well defined. Like, they're still pretty sketchy and stuff, but I just, like, you know, if you're, like, this one is insane. I don't know how that happened. Yeah, I don't know, just doodle them, and don't really worry too much if they're, you know, accurate or whatever. I think also it helps, to think of, like, with anything, like, you can break it down into shapes. Like, sorry, I'm just gonna doodle on top of this here. What layer should I doodle on? Like, you know, I think of a hand as, like, there's this block, which is, like, your palm. Sorry, this is a bad drawing, but you got a thumb that comes off that way, and then, like, fingies. Oh no, I ran out of room! Ah! I think the pinky comes out this way. Yeah, that looks right. No, like, alright, whatever, just embiggen the hand. Pinky, there, boom, 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 boom. There's this part of it that's kind of like this part that bends here. And then there's this, like, there's kind of a line here in the middle, right? Because it sort of bends this way, and it bends this way, right? So you've got the this thing and the this thing, sort of. And like these are chunks of meat, right? Here, I'm just gonna zoom in on this, and we're doing hand stuff. There's this chunk of meat that bends like this way. This is a side view. Say these are all the fingers. You know, this is, you know what I'm saying? Like, sorry, you're like, oh, you're so good at hands, and I'm like, wanna bet? Here's some of the worst hands you've ever seen. But it's like, you know, this piece kind of folds on this axis. That's what this chunk of meat is later. That's this. And then there's like this chunk here, which is, you know, here. And we'll say this chunk here, which is kind of attached to the thumb. So that's like, burp, you know. Anyway. Yeah, it helps me to sort of think of the hand as either like or excuse me, the palm as either like a kind of just this chonky thing. It's sort of like a brick. Or, you know, and then here's the thumb coming out like that. Or sometimes like a wedge. Sometimes I think of it as kind of a wedge. 'Cause it kind of is. It's a little bit of a, I mean, it doesn't look like it on that side, but on this side, I don't know how to explain it. But, you know, or maybe, yeah, from a side view, it might be like thumb, you know, fingies. These are pretty bad hands, but I'm just like explaining how to think of them, if that makes sense, not necessarily how to draw them. And then like fingers, obviously fingers have like 3 different joints. They're like that. I don't always draw 3 different joints. When you're doing cartoons, like sometimes you'll just do 2 joints, like depending on the kind of cartoon it is, like, you know, sometimes you gotta keep it simple. It's just gotta be like that, you know. Don't make all the fingers the same length. Don't do what I just did. Anyway. What else is nice is like you can kind of group fingers together. I didn't do that in any of these drawings, but like let's say, I don't know, like that. Like let's say, okay, here's bam bam bam, like, you know, you just come up with like a line for the fingers to follow. Like this is kind of a fist. Sorry, the fingers are uneven, but you know, now it's like, oh, cool. That's a hand sort of grasping at something, or, you know, could be holding something. Or like maybe the fingers all follow a curve, like let me think. Like this, you know, like here's another easy way to think about hands. Just again, right? Like here's that chunk. Here's that like hand chunk. These are the fingers. Maybe the thumb going like that. I don't know. Like it's about to grab something. Like these are simplified, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. There's ways to simplify it and make it I don't know. Just thinking of it in like chunks, breaking it down. I didn't really go into fingers too much. Fingers also, like, maybe you need a couple of them. Maybe they can kind of follow each other, but you want like one. Like if someone's going like this, if someone's like holding their hand out like this, like they're not all like flat in line with each other. Like they're kind of layered, you know, like it'll be like they're sort of fanned out a little bit, you know? like that. That's the thumb on the other side. You know, with this being the pointer finger and that being the pinky. Yeah, I don't know. Or you can do, there's another, this is a very like cartoon hand to be like, I don't know, that doesn't work, that doesn't make sense. Anyway, hands, I don't know, that's kind of how I think about them. There's like, they're chunks of meat and, sorry, wow, this is not working, holy shit, okay. Chunks of meat and just practice drawing a whole page of them. Wow, okay, that took up so long that my phone died. Let's see what the chat's doing. Let's see, YouTube emojis. Is there a chance? By the way, I wear purple skirts over pants like every day, inspired by sock. Beautiful. I love that. That's awesome. I used to wear skirts over pants. That's what inspired sock a little bit. Oh, cool. Break a leg on your show choir show. That's cool. I wouldn't be watching a stream before a performance. I'd be like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. So I guess that's cool. I hope it chills you out. That's really cool. I'm glad you made it. Let's see. I had a dream you became a commentary YouTuber. Like, just like a drama YouTuber? Like commentary on what? Cartoon commentary? Oh my god, I should become a cartoon YouTuber. There's no cartoon YouTubers that actually work in animation. It's a field, to my knowledge. I mean, there are cartoon YouTubers who have made cartoons, but I don't think there's any cartoon YouTubers who like have worked in the industry. I think that'd be very interesting. Or do you just mean like a drama YouTuber, like commenting on the drama? Because I don't think I could do that. I don't keep up with enough like drama. There was this one YouTuber who currently he's like just a drama commentary YouTuber, just sort of about anything and everything. But he started as like a art YouTuber. And he would talk about drama in like the artist community on YouTube. And I kind of stopped following him. I mean, I never really like followed him because I don't follow a lot of art drama on YouTube, but I was like aware of him. And I guess he sort of went away for a bit and he came back and I was like, wait a second, I know this guy, but he kind of like rebranded and it's like, oh, he just does like regular like drama commentaries now about like regular people stuff or movies or whatever, you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh wait, I remember this guy. Anyway, good for him. I don't know if anyone knows who I'm talking about. Let's see. Instead of drawing something, the best thing is to fill a page of drawing that thing based on refs you like. Yes. Based on refs you like, yes, that is good. But also, like, you don't have to, like, you can just reference your own hands or like photos of hands or, you know, because sometimes, I don't know, sometimes the refs you like aren't, I don't know, like there's like different styles for drawing, like, okay, like different cartoons will have different types of hands, right? Like the show that I was on last time, the last show I was on, it was in the biz dev, like, doing storyboards, and I did a lot of hand acting, and I think they really liked my hand acting. But at some point I got like a bunch of notes that were like, the hands, you're doing them wrong. The hands for that show were like really specific. Like they taper at the fingers, and, you know, oh, you gave this character's hands are too small. You gave this character girl hands or whatever. And I'm like, oh shit. So like sometimes I think having a broader understanding of just sort of how the actual hand as a machine works. It's an incredibly complicated machine, by the way. That's why like robot hands are usually just like a fucking 3 clamps or something, right? Because it's so fucking complicated. It's like one of the most complicated things in nature, the human hand, right? Anyway, like, so having a knowledge of how it works and then how to simplify it for a cartoon, I think is really helpful. Because every cartoon is kind of going to simplify it a slightly different way. So yeah, like referencing stuff, like I mentioned Yu-Gi-Oh! Because that is me referencing a thing that I like, but like also just draw, like use a bunch of different references, reference real life, you know. I think it's all helpful. Let's see. Recently, I had a really hard time drawing poses and finishing art pieces. God forbid I pick up my stylus and try and do something digital. So I've just been drawing sock for like pages in a row. I'm flattered. Thank you for. I hope sock helps you get out of your blockage. Even the way the characters' hands have changed. In the first movie, it was more cartoonish. Now it's kind of realistic. Yeah, I was doing more simplified kind of like, you know, like beep beep beep. Oh, that's not anything. Hold on. I was doing a lot of like hand in the first one, and I still do those hands sometimes, but I don't know. I've been trying to. This one had a lot of like Mephistopheles talking, and he's like a very hand forward character, so I had to get into animating hands, and you know, I don't know. So I was just having fun with the hands a little bit in this one. Although I like the idea, I very much love the idea of like a kind of realistic hand, like just snapping into like a stupid, you know, one of these like cartoon hands. I think that's really, really funny. I worked on a show that did that once, actually, and it was fucking awesome. Like, I wish I could get out of my own head enough to just do that. I used to do that more. I don't know. I worry sometimes that my art has gotten more, like, stiff and boring because I'm, like, trying too hard to make it realistic or whatever. Let's see. Would Sock listen to Chapel Roan? Absolutely. Whoop. Hold on. Ah! What is this? I don't want... Oh no, the chat went away. How do I make it come back? Ah! Live chat. Okay, here we go. Let me catch up. Erica, have you ever read any Welcome to Hell fan fiction just out of curiosity? Yeah, I've read a lot. I've talked about this on another stream. Yeah, I mean, I haven't read every Welcome to Hell fanfic out there, but I've read a lot. I think it was literally last stream I was talking about how much I appreciate fanfic writers because they have a skill that I don't have. I mean, not all, like everyone writes a little differently. But I really like when people write a very like I really like prosy fanfics that are very like, oh, someone takes my characters very seriously. You know what I mean? Like they're affording them this sort of level of I don't know. just seriousness that makes it clear to me, like, oh, these characters have really connected with people, and I really like reading that kind of stuff. Really serious, dramatic fanfics or whatever. Those are my favorite ones. But yeah, I've read a ton of Welcome to Hell fanfics. Let's see. I tend to prefer like kind of what do you call them? Like one shots or whatever, because I don't have a lot of time. But I've read a couple more longer form fics. There was one, this was like several years ago now, but there was one that I was reading a little bit of every night before I went to bed, and it was like an AU where they were cannibals in the post-apocalypse. And I quite liked that one. Let's see. Teacher, I have a question. What is the question? Draw a hand with a ring? You just put a ring on it. I only found out like a week ago that these streams were things that were still done. I haven't been into Welcome to Hell recently, and it just never crossed my mind they might still frequently occur. I just started streaming again like a couple, like maybe a month or so ago. Like, I used to stream on Twitch a little bit several years ago, and I don't know, I just recently decided I need to be more active like on YouTube, so I'm gonna start streaming, and I'm gonna try and do it once a week, and it's kind of random. Most of the time it's been on Thursdays between like 11, like I usually start anywhere around 11 a.m. Pacific time to like 2 p.m. Or like I'll start within that range and I'll usually go for like 2 or 3 hours. I haven't been posting about them on other social medias. I've just been doing them. I know I need to, like, I need to like post on the socials, like, hey, I'm streaming right now, come hang out. That would probably get more people in here. But I haven't done that yet. I'm kind of scared to. I don't know. I don't know. I'm worried I'm like not. I don't know. It's fine. I could handle it. Like, I don't think it's gonna like totally skyrocket the viewer count, but you know, I'm like, oh, that's that many more people I have to like pay attention to, and then also while I'm working, like I'd have to either pretty much exclusively pay attention to the stream or like just work and like occasionally look over at it. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll get into that eventually. I'm kind of like building up to it. I'm working up to it. Let's see. They're so fun. About the show choir thing. We're all dressed and warmed up already. We genuinely have nothing to do before the show starts. Okay. That's cool. I'm glad that's the way to do it, right? If you're gonna perform, you gotta get there early and get comfy in the space, and get all warmed up and everything. It's easier to do, I think, in a space you're familiar with too. So like, I don't know if this is like at your school or something, or if you're like competing somewhere else, but like when I play a band gig, I'm always like, have I played this place before? Okay, cool. Then I can like kind of relax a little bit going into it. If I've never played this place before, it's like, okay, I gotta get there early. I gotta make sure like nothing stupid happens during the setup. Is there room for all of my equipment? Like, you know, just, I don't know. There's a lot of mental prep, I think, that goes into it before you actually have to perform in front of people. So it's nice when you've done that and you've like settled in and you get to just like chill for a bit. But my point is, I think I would still be like too anxious. Like I think I could maybe text someone. But I feel like I would be, I don't know. I would just be like anxious, or maybe I'd be talking to people or something. I don't know. Anxious is the wrong word. I think antsy is the word I'm looking for. Specifically a drama commentator, but you should do cartoon commentary. A drama commentator. I don't keep up with enough drama. What I would have to do, if I was a drama YouTuber, a drama commentator YouTuber, my wife is the one that keeps up with, like, drama and, like, what's going on and, like, entertainment and, like, music and stuff like this. Like, she can tell you all about the drama that's going on with whatever pop girly, you know. And I don't really follow any of that. I just get it from her. So it could be a funny angle for a channel where it's just like, I'm trying to summarize the drama that my wife told me about earlier. I don't really follow it. I don't know who these people are, but like, this is what I understand. Like, that could be kind of funny. Or some kind of angle like that, right? Where I'm like totally not qualified to talk about it, but I'm talking about it anyway. How do you think the relationship between Jonathan and JoJo would be? Like, I personally have trouble imagining them interacting, but maybe you can help us out. I don't know. I haven't thought about what that, I haven't explored that too much. What am I saying? Maybe, and what's the thing I always say? I'm a bad storyteller. I'm a bad creator. I haven't really. Oops, my sister called. I just hung up on her. I haven't really thought about what their interaction would be like. I mean, I think they probably get along just fine. I think Jonathan would probably Jonathan would realize like, oh, here's someone who's kind of like on my side a little bit, who doesn't like sock. Like, I like the idea of, here's an idea. I've not thought too deeply about this, but like, when I was a kid, one of my best friends that I used to hang out with all the time, she had these two older brothers who were like really, really mean. You know how older brothers are. And, we played with them a couple times, like we hung out with them a little bit, but like mostly they would just like come through the room or whatever, or wherever we were hanging out, and like make fun of her. Sometimes me also, but mostly they made fun of her, just like to get a rise out of her, and then like left or whatever. And like I felt it was like I was always just like laughing at her with them. Like, just like, that is mean, but it's pretty funny though. You know what I mean? And sometimes, again, like, sometimes they'd even lump me in with it and be like, what are you laughing at? Like, you too, like, you little loser. And I was like, okay, but they're like, that's how they're playing, you know, like, that's how they have fun. And I kind of understood that because they're not my brothers, like, so, I mean, they were really mean, but I thought it was funny. And I was like, she was just like, God, I fucking, you know, like, I was like, that's just what older brothers do, I think. But I could see Jonathan maybe like, oh, okay, this is fun. Like, JoJo's like really going after Sock. Like, just kind of being like, like, yeah, let him have it. That could be kind of fun. Just because Jonathan's not like super reactive the way that JoJo is. Like, he's more likely to put up with something. So it's kind of nice to have someone else like constantly going after Sock. Like, I think he would enjoy that. But I don't know, like, if the two of them are like particularly close, or like, I don't know what their dynamic is. If like just the two of them were hanging out without a buffer friend, I don't really know what that would look like. I haven't really thought about that. Also, this is super unimportant, but a few streams ago someone asked me, does JoJo have a last name? And I went on this like incomprehensible tangent that didn't make any fucking sense about the song Maxwell's Silver Hammer by the Beatles. And don't rewatch it, it's not important. And the long story short is that no, she does not have a last name. But I believe in that stream I said that Joan, or JoJo, where she gets her namesake from, is a character in the song who's like a fan of the serial killer Maxwell. She's not. She's his first victim, actually. I think I misspoke in the, there's a lot of characters in the song. There's a lot of just like names that are dropped. So I like briefly mixed them up and was like, oh wait, no, that makes sense. I picked that name because she's the first person that Maxwell kills in that song. And originally she was supposed to be Sock's like first human murder victim. I'm not going with that anymore, so I don't think. So I don't know. It's all up in the air, but Joan from the song does not have a last name. So anyway. Not important. I was just thinking about that the other day. I was like, wait a second. I mixed up who's who in that song. There's like 7 different characters. It's a Paul McCartney song. He can't help himself. Just giving little guys names. Naming all his little guys. All I can think of so far is the fact that JoJo would probably be trying to get Lil closer to him so JoJo can get closer to Sock. JoJo would probably be trying to get Lil closer to him. So, okay, that kind of works. Yeah, like JoJo's kind of trying to like matchmake them a little bit. I like that. I think that kind of works because like my original thought is like Jonathan kind of has a crush on Lil, or he like admires her from afar. He's not really sure what that means or what to do with that. And I think that's what JoJo like initially picks up on is like, oh, here's this kid, like here's a potential connection. Like I see this kid is really interested in this kid. Like the kid that Sock is haunting is like paying a lot of attention to this kid. Maybe I can go be that kid's guardian angel and then like get them together. You know what I mean? Like that is kind of like the impetus for why she does that. So yeah, it could be like she's trying to put them in scenarios where they like get together or something and it's like not quite working. That could be kind of funny. Because she's like not understanding the gay of it all. I don't know. That could be fun. I don't think your art has gotten boring, but it has gotten cleaner, ? Which I just think makes it easier to get what's happening when it's a sketch. Moral of the story, it's nice. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, it's TV Paint. My boyfriend is really good at writing serious style stuff. He just recently started using that since Welcome to Help. Since I got him into it. Oh, that's cool. Hell yeah. Gotta go make some dinner. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. Have a good dinner. Oh, Adventure Time style hands? That's cool. That's a good... Dude, Adventure Time is great because it's just noodles. It's just noodle arms. And it works. Will we ever get another scene of Sock without his hat again? Possibly. Rehearse in the space that we perform. Okay, that's cool. About show choir. Let's see. If Jonathan asked Sock how he died, would Sock lie? I don't think so. I don't think Sock has the sense to lie about that. I think he'd just say it kind of matter-of-factly. I mean, he says it very, like, shamefully when Mephistopheles is interrogating him. In the first one, just because I think he's like not sure if he's in trouble about it. But now that he knows he's not in trouble for it, like, I mean, he is in trouble insofar as he went to hell, but like, I don't think he has any reason to lie about it now. He knows that that's not like, you know, there's no consequence for him, you know, and he also just like is a little unhinged, so I don't think he like I don't think he would be ashamed of it, no, or like I don't think he would lie. I don't think he'd have any reason to lie about it. Maybe if it was like if he knew that lying about it would gain him something, he might, but I think he's too honest. Okay, this person says, I remember my question. Do guardian angels also sort of have their own rules with touching humans and their belongings, or do they not have those restrictions at all? Someone asked this on another stream, like a stream or so ago. Oh, someone just said, okay, that was answered last stream. Whatever I said last stream, that's my answer this time. Yeah, yeah. I guess I already answered that. What did I say? I don't remember. I think I said... Man, I don't remember. I'm gonna have to go back and re-listen to it. Because I think the question was also, like, are they able to... Like, what, like, how are they able to see each other in terms of, like, would Jonathan be able to see Jojo and that kind of thing? And I think once they touch, yeah. I do think angels can touch. I think angels can... Yeah, let's save it. I think especially if you're, like, in a situation where it's maybe like a life or death situation or something, like, I think they can step in and stuff like that. They would have to be able to touch the human because they're supposed to protect them. Yeah, I think so. I think that's what I said. Oh, I like that. I haven't thought about all of the ways in which I can connect these things. So this is actually really helpful that you're sort of talking these ideas out with me. I was thinking about the thing where Lil could be struggling with her queerness and possibly think that's why Jojo is there. Maybe she thinks Jojo matchmaking them is her subtly ungayifying her. She definitely, I mean, that was something that I said, like, on a previous stream where I think she thinks Jojo is there because she's gay and that needs to be fixed. But maybe that's it. Maybe she thinks, yeah, like, maybe the way Jojo is doing that is trying to set her up with Jonathan or something. And, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's kind of fun. I like that quite a bit. And then, you know, there's a big sort of realization that, like, oh, actually everyone's gay. Actually, we're all super gay. I like that. I think that's fun. Boy, I don't know if I'm gonna get any further on this scene without, like, while I'm streaming. I think I'm gonna have to switch over to something less involved. Or I could just sit here and talk to you guys. I think I'm gonna switch over to the anime OP that I was working on and just do some shading on, like, a scene that's already been... a while ago, I started working on this, I wrote, like, a song, like a random original song for Welcome to Hell, and it sort of, like, turned into an anime OP. It didn't start that way, but that's what it, like, became. And so I was like, oh, I recorded it, and my recording was really bad, so I asked my friend to, like, help me make it sound good. And he did. He, like, mixed it and made it, like, actually sound good and shit. And so I kind of started animating bits of it, just pieces of it that I could, like, really picture. It's just kind of like a thing to do, and I need to, like, switch gears from working on animation. And I don't think the playback is gonna work because I'm streaming, but if you want, I can kind of show you a chunk of it. I'm just gonna do some shading just because that's what I can do. No, it's gonna be super fucking choppy. I'm gonna need to let it buffer a little bit. Do I have all the layers turned on? I do. This is just like a shot from it. Do I have it marked in and marked out? I think I do. Oh. I gotta do the, I gotta get rid of this. I don't need to make this so... Yep. I posted this on Patreon a while ago, so it's like, I mean, I don't know, it's not like a big secret or anything, but kind of. I'm gonna give it a second to play through. Because this zoom is super not working. It, like, zooms into his eye. I don't know if it'll work. I don't know if it's actually gonna... We'll see. Man, yeah, it's just not gonna happen. Or is it? Anyway, I'm gonna stop it just because it's never gonna work. Well, it will. The thing is, TV Paint will work itself out. It will eventually buffer, but I think it might kill the quality of the stream. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it looks like on your guys' end. But anyway, it like zoom into he eye, and anyway, and there's sock. This is kind of what it does if it were playing back for real. And I don't have any of this like composited yet or whatever. Like there would be some like effects and stuff on top of this, but this is just sort of like the lines and color. And I wanted to like find a way to handle all of their like I'm handling Sock's hair different. Like it's anime. It's supposed to be like an anime thing, so I wanted to do that like sort of see-through bangs where you can see the like because currently Sock's eye color and everything is just like on top of his bangs. But I wanted to kind of see like what might that look like if I tried to handle it like with anime rules instead. So it's been kind of fun trying to figure out. But anyway, this is the only shot that's like cleaned and colored, and I don't know, I can like do shading on it. I have some other shots that I was working on too, but yeah, I don't know. Just this is something I can do that I don't have to think about. So it just is a nonsense kind of thing for fun. Sorry, it's not welcome to L2. But I can maybe work on this a little bit. Let's see. The volume feels kind of low. Really? Let me hear it on my end. Okay. Oh, it is a little low. I can fuck with my settings a little bit. Let me see. What's it sound like for most people? Does anyone else think it's... That's funny. The people know the lyrics from the song. That's funny. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with the chat at the same time. Audio. Oh, that's not it. How do I go to my audio settings? I kind of have I have a bunch of different filters and stuff to make my microphone not sound as shitty. I really don't know if I can mess with it too much without like creating a bunch of noise or making it pick up like the room tone. The hat flying looks so cool. Thank you. His eyes are shining. I'm going to die. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry about the audio. I'll try and mess with it off stream a little bit, but I don't really know. I don't really know what to do midstream without like maybe totally fucking up everything. I mean, it's not gonna fuck up everything, but I just mean like my I'm using a really shitty microphone, and it is... Oh, that's not right. Sorry. And it's, I'm trying to cut out room noise, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of, like, if I don't, like, have it set up the way that I do. So, like, that would make it louder. Like, it gets a little quieter in the process of trying to mix it, unfortunately. There might be a way to fix that, but I'm not really a sound guy, so I am not good at knowing what that is. But I will look into it off stream. And I have friends that are good at audio, so maybe I'll just ask them. But yeah, let's see. What can I do? Okay, I'll do this. Shadow. This is also kind of fun because, like, I never shade these characters. Like, not in animation form anyway. Like, oh, I don't have my aliasing on. For the eraser. Okay. So yeah, it's kind of fun to be like, oh cool, I can do some like shading with them or whatever. I just never really do that. What was I doing here? Okay, did that. Yeah, it's just a chance to kind of practice something different or have like a cool animated piece in my portfolio. I've also thought about, like, I could just, what do you call it? I could just put this, like, randomly at the beginning of Welcome to Hell 2. Like, what if it just started with, like, an anime OP? Like, as if it always had one. I think that'd be kind of funny. But then I'd have to figure out what the whole thing looks like, and I don't actually know if I'm prepared to do that. I don't know, I guess I don't have to. I guess it could just be like an unfinished animatic. Honk honk. I don't know if you guys could hear the train in the background. It do the big honk. The big beep. Oh, I should have done this before... Alright, whatever. Just thinking about the order I should have done this in. It would have made it easier. That's okay. I'll do it on the next frame. What's it missing? This. I'm gonna make this be color or shading. I think that's fine. Anyway, and all this is going to be like lower opacity when I'm done with it. Actually, I think this is probably going to be like... So something that's kind of frustrating about this version of TV Paint that I have is it doesn't have... what do you call it? It doesn't have the ability to... what do you call it? It doesn't have layer blending modes. It doesn't have blending modes. It has them on brushes, but that's, what do you call it? Like destructive a little bit. Like I want to be able to fuss with something like as an entire layer, you know? So I'm going to have to do that in compositing, unfortunately. That's not normally something I do. I don't normally... Again, my shit is not normally shaded, so it's funny to be like, oh, shading problems. I don't know. I don't even know her. Yeah. Alright, let me see what the chat's up to. No! I don't want to color the whole thing. Just do layer. Yep. Alright. Would demon puberty possibly grant Sock some supernatural strength in addition to the demon-like feature? Maybe. I think he would gain, like, abilities Not necessarily strength, but I think he would gain abilities, right? Like, the ability to make milk spoil or something like that. Like, I think that sort of thing makes sense to me. Do you have any concepts for JoJo's death? My favorite headcanon right now is her death not being directly caused by Sokka, but it being something where Sokka got her into trouble that caused her death. That's kind of what I was thinking, like, because she needs to, like, really have it out for him for some reason. And that would either need to be he, like, indirectly did something that caused her death, or he, like, he just, like, tormented her in some way. She died in an unrelated way, but she's like, oh, I remember that kid, like, he made my life miserable. Or maybe he didn't torment her, maybe he thought he was being friends with her, you know, and he was, like, giving her dead animals and stuff like that. Like, that's a thought that I've had. I don't know exactly what it's going to be, but I think that makes sense. Like, I do kind of like the idea of, like, initially also it was going to be that, like, whatever Sokka had done to JoJo, like, awoken his, like, fascination with killing. Like, my very earliest thought was, and that he, like, witnessed it, right? And, I mean, it's possible to do that. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that or not, like, because I feel like, I don't know, if it happens when he's young enough, maybe. But one of my, like, early thoughts about it was he, like, just for example, like, let's say they're, like, playing on a playground or something together, and he, like, shoves her and she falls off, or he, like, scares her or something like that and she falls off and, like, I don't know, dies somehow, and he's, like, really fascinated by the death, like, by the blood or the whatever, or how it felt to, like, watch that happen, or, like, what it, like, awakens something in him, even though he didn't, like, intentionally, like, set out to, like, kill her, you know. That was kind of one of my early thoughts about it. Oh, I'm not gonna do this yet. That was one of my, like, early thoughts about the character. It was like he accidentally activated a fascination with death. But I think that's kind of, I'm worried that that's too complicated. I'm worried that, like, well, not too complicated, but too, like, I was about to say unrealistic, like any of this is realistic. But you know what I mean? It's like, the character's already really unrealistic. So I'm worried that, like, if I had something like that, it'd be like, well, his parents would take him out of school, he'd have, like, a bunch of psychological evaluation, and, like, you know, I don't know, like, it just seems like there would be a lot of measures taken to deal with the trauma of that. Or maybe they, like, I mean, but maybe they don't, like, maybe his parents don't believe in that, maybe they, like, move to a different school district or something, and they just try and hope that he forgets about it, you know, but he doesn't, and he has to hide, but he knows he's not supposed to, he knows that was supposed to have been traumatizing for him, and he kind of has to hide that it actually activated him. That was, like, one of my initial thoughts with the character. I don't know if I've talked about this before, but I was just worried that it's, like, I'm worried that that makes him too ridiculous of a character. Like, he's already experienced someone essentially dying by his hand. And that would make the appeal of the job offer he receives in hell less, like, enticing. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe I can have my cake and eat it too. I'm not sure, but this is why all of this is kind of undecided, is because, like, that was my initial idea, and I think it, like, makes sense, but I'm worried that it's, like, too much, you know, or I'm worried that it's, like, I don't know, like, it doesn't put enough weight on... Maybe it does. Maybe it's fine. I don't know. I'm going to look at chat in a second and see what you guys think. If you guys like it, maybe I'll bring it back. But, like, that to me makes it so that Sock is, like, it's a really complicated thing where he's, like, technically innocent, but he liked the way it felt. I don't know. I guess I just, like, the more I thought about it, the more I was like, it's just too much. It's too, I don't know. He's already so much. I'm just worried it requires too much of an explanation or something. I don't know. Maybe it's fine. Let's see. See what the chat says. Torque. Give me your entire computer and I'll set it up for you and not steal it for early access. I feel like I'm witnessing something historic. Will Lil ever come out to her dad? Does he know? I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe he knows? I picture Lil's dad as like a cool dad. Like she has a good relationship with him. But I don't know. I also, like, I want to be semi-realistic, right? Like, I don't know exactly when Welcome to Hell takes place, but, like, it's probably sometime in the early 2000s. Like, realistically. And I don't think it's very realistic for her to have a dad who's cool with it. But maybe he is. Maybe he just loves her enough that it's like, he's like, that's cool, whatever. I just don't want you to, like, die. You know? Like, there are parents who are cool with it. I'm not, like, saying that doesn't exist. But, there's levels, right? You know, there's, like, some parents who are super uncool with it. Who are super, like, or they're, you know, maybe they say they're fine with it, but they kind of don't get it. Like, their heart's in the right place, but they, you know, I don't know. I just, like, I've seen a couple things, like, my wife and I will watch stuff where a character comes out to, like, their parents, or, like, in one instance, a grandparent, and the grandparent was, like, totally super cool with it, and we were like, nah. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Like, some grandparents are just, like, they're old enough, they're at that point where they're like, I don't give a fuck. Like, but I don't know. I just, like, so every now and then I'll be watching something with my wife and she's like, that's bullshit. That's not realistic. And it's like, and it's not, to be perfectly fair, but it's also, like, I understand the idea of, like, writing the world you want to see a little bit, right? Like, how do you model, being accepting to, like, parent, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's ultimately a good thing to show in media a, you know, a parental figure or whatever being like, oh, that's cool, you're gay? Like, who do you like? Who do you have a crush on? Like, I do think that's cool, but it just, it feels, and maybe it's a more, maybe as society progresses, maybe as time goes on, like, these kind of things will become more common. But, like, when I'm watching something with my wife, both of us who grew up in, like, the 90s and early 2000s, we're like, that's never happened. That has literally never happened. Like, we just feel like it's very unrealistic, but also, like, we're from a specific time period, right? Again, not like it's impossible or anything like that. I just feel like, and I do, again, whatever, I do ultimately think it's good when, like, media shows, like, a kid coming out to their parents and the parents, like, react normal and cool about it. Like, I think that's ultimately good in the long run. You're like writing the world that you want to see, you know? You're normalizing it a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. I also feel like it's just sort of like unrealistic in some ways. Like, lots of people still struggle with coming out to their family. Like, or it's unsafe for lots of people still, you know? Like, we've made a lot of progress, but it's also, I don't know. So I don't know. I'm not totally sure. And then there's also like, I don't know. I mean, like, and then like what level of like, if they are accepting, like what level of that is like okay or appropriate. Like, not to throw my parents under the bus, but when I came out to my parents, they were like, I also kind of knew this beforehand. They made it really clear, like, they're like, I'd rather have a gay kid than a dead kid. You know what I mean? Like, that was sort of their, like, which is kind of like, that's not the ideal way to look at it, right? The ideal way is like, it doesn't matter if you're gay or not. Like, we support you either way, right? But like, my parents were, I mean, the version that, like, that was pretty progressive for the time. We'd rather have a gay kid than a dead kid. Like, you know, but that's because all of the, you know, stories that you hear, like, for a long time, the only gays in media were like, it was about how sad and painful and miserable you are, and maybe the character dies at the end if they're lucky. Like it was just, you know, or there was all kinds of stories like that. Like, I don't know, it's just like it. A lot of parents are, I think, scared of their kids being gay because they know that that's like a hard life. They know that's something that they will struggle with. And so they're worried because they don't want their kid to suffer or to struggle, right? And I don't know. But lots of parents, for that reason, are like, no, you can't be gay. Like, because I don't want you to struggle the way that I've seen. Those people struggle. They have a really rough life, you know? And so, I don't know. It's interesting. Like, people are accepting or unaccepting for different reasons, I guess. And there are reasons that someone might be unaccepting that are not because of hate. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's kind of complicated. I'm not exactly sure how I want to present that. You know. I knew gay people when I was a teenager. Well, before I realized I was gay. Like, I had a friend who was gay in high school, or he realized he was gay. We all kind of knew he was gay before he did. And then there was like a family friend of mine who was also gay. Oh, and there was a kid that lived down the street who I'm pretty sure was gay, but I was too young to really talk about what that meant. I suspect he was an older kid that I hung out with sometimes, and my mom had no problem with us hanging out, and I think that's because she knew. She was like, oh, this is a safe older boy, he's fine. But I also heard my parents say stuff like, oh, well, you know, that's cool, we'll pray for you, that kind of thing, you know. So it's like, you know, I don't think that's just sort of like, well, I don't know what to do about that. Like, you know, we love this person, but I don't know, you know. And does pray for you mean pray that you get ungayed, or does it mean like pray that you don't experience so much trauma? Like, I don't know. I don't know what's in people's hearts. I don't know. Sorry, I'm getting kind of like down a tangent here that's a little hefty. But anyway, I don't know. I haven't really figured out, what am I missing? Oh, I'm missing the mouth shading. The anime chin lip shading part. How do I do that? Maybe like that. Is that gonna work? This is so weird. I'm shading with like the aliasing turned off so that I can like do something with it later, but it feels so weird and wrong. And I'm under the impression that that's actually how they do it in anime, which seems so fucked to me. Anyway. Does that look okay? That looks alright. Let me see what the chat's doing. Sorry, I went off on a tangent about, like, gay trauma. Let's see. Okay, Tamagotchi Life, did that just come out? Because I keep seeing a bunch of stuff from it. Like, did a new one just come out? That looks really cool. Like, people are making some really, like, custom-looking Tamagotchis. Or are they called Miis? Who up chewing? Dude, the majority of Tamagotchi is just making the Miis. That's all I do in any game. Like, I had the original Sims game. I got it, like, way after the fact. Like, way after it was popular. And I just kind of wanted it so that I could make Sims. At the time, I don't know if they still have this feature, but you could, like, what do you call it? You could map, like, what do you call that? Like a bitmap thing, like where you could like map the stuff to their skin, like you could edit it, you could like paint onto it, and like anyway. And I remember I made a Mephistopheles actually, or I tried to, but like I thought that was really fun. I liked the idea of like making the characters, but not much else. So I never really played it. It's funny. Okay. Threw a banana peel on the ground and JoJo stepped on it. Tragic. Top 10 anime deaths. Cough, cough. Sokka JoJo trespassing and JoJo being shot by the owner of the land and him witnessing this. Oh, damn. Yeah, could be that. Damn. Maybe he injured her real bad and then wanted to inflict blood from then on. Is there a chance JoJo knows Sok killed his parents? I think she finds that out. I think she'll find it out pretty quickly. Like, if she does a little digging on him, she's just like, oh, this sick fuck. Like, he couldn't keep it together. He couldn't keep it in his pants. He had to kill. I think that probably motivates her even more to, like, go after him. Just like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Let's see. I do like the idea, but I do think Meth's offer hold less weight without it. It is complicated. Yeah. So I was just like, I know that was my friend, but that was cool. Maybe the best thing would just be he almost killed her, or he's gotten close in some way. Yeah. I don't know. That's what I was thinking too. Oh, Capsule Ghost is in the stream. Yo, what up? I linked to your channel earlier, so I don't know if you got any influx from that, but people were like asking about you, so okay, let's see. I'm gonna give him a wake-up call. I mean, you gotta remember it's pretty cool. Traumatizing thing. As a gay, I'm torn between wanting to just make my sexuality be normal in whatever I create in a 90s, 2000s world, but also knowing the reality since I lived in it. Yeah, that's the struggle, man. That's the strug. I get that it's conflicting. When I came out liking girls, my family was very accepting. Coming out as trans, however, was a much different story. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. Yeah, everyone's shit's really complicated. Like, people get super weird when it's... I don't know. Some people are... I know also some people have a hard time understanding like anything in between, right? Like they're like, okay, well, I understand going from this one to that one, but what do you mean you're non-binary? Like, it's interesting what, I don't know, like, or maybe they understand like, I don't know, like my wife and I were talking the other day about like, what do you think our parents think our relationship is like or whatever? And she was like, I think my parents just think we like, just like fall asleep like laying like this, like planking, just like holding each other's hands. Like I think they just think, you know what I mean? Like it's like, yeah, that is probably, they're just like, oh, they're just gal pals, they're just having a little sleepover. Like I don't know, like I have no idea. It's just like trying to think of like what other people, I don't know, how they perceive you or whatever. Okay, let's see. As a trans woman, I want to tell accurate stories, idealistic stories, representative stories, and stories people won't think are stuffed with diversity for diversity's sake, all at the same time. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's tricky, right? It's so hard. Like, I mean, I think there's like a different story for everything, right? Like, I can think of stories that I'd want to tell where like being gay is just not an issue. It's just like part of it. Like it's dependent on a lot of things, right? Like because this is set probably in the early 2000s, I think I would treat it more realistically, like based on what my experience was or what I was observing around me. But like if it's like a fantasy setting or something, like I would be more inclined to be like, yeah, who cares? Like, so yeah, I don't know. It's really tricky. And then also that's the other thing too, like when you're making a specific piece of media that's like about or touching on themes of something that you care about, like all those people who fit into that category are going to be more critical. Like gays are super critical of gay movies, or I think we are anyway. At least me and my wife are. And so like sometimes we'll be like the only people who were like, I actually didn't really like that movie, but I don't want to say I didn't like it because like I need there to be more movies like this. Like I think this one was bad, but I think we need more of them. So we need to get on the train of like, oh my God, this movie was so good. We super loved it. Like just because it's like, if you're too critical of something, people producing that thing will take the wrong idea from it, right? Like there was a period in the early 2010s where there was a handful of like female-led movies in the early 2000s and they didn't do well. They weren't good movies, but they just didn't do very well. And so people were like, oh, well, people just don't want to see a woman in a lead role. And it's like, no, that's not it. It was just a bad movie. Like, you know, so it's tricky, right? Like, I don't know. So that you also want to be like, people are going to be extra critical of it as well. Like you've already got the weight of everything on your shoulders trying to make it like realistic, but also representational, but also not this, but a little bit this, like, anyway, I'm sorry. I lost my fucking point in the stream. I get what you mean. I'm 24 and I still haven't fully come out. Not that I think my family would have a problem. It's just not as easy as some people portray. Yeah. I remember reading Nathan Lane's story about coming out to his mother and she said, I'd rather you were dead. You were played with, thanks, Mom. Dude, the opposite of what my parents said. That feels very fitting. I can totally picture Nathan Lane saying, thanks, Mom. Like, terrible. I think it's going to get easier for people over time, but anyway, I'm now discovering that the vast majority of people in this chat are queer. Hi, queers. Wait, Jonathan's VA was in his early 40s in the first film. What? He sounds so young. Am I reading this wrong? I'm looking at the Tumblr answered questions. Yeah, he was in his early 40s. He has a young energy, if that makes sense. Like, he has a young energy. He's, I don't know how else to describe it. I told my mom I was pansexual. This is great. I'm sorry. I hope it's cool. I'm just like reading everyone's like testimonials. I told my mom I was pansexual when she saw a friend of mine text me asking me to be her boyfriend. My mom laughed and said something like, wow, she thinks you're gay. And I said, I am. That's funny. Well, I hope it went well for you. I hope that worked. My dad used to be homophobic, and now he just points at gay stuff and says it's me, but with the best intentions. Yeah, I mean, so a big part of this too is like knowing someone, right? Like if a homophobic person knows someone who is gay, it's harder when it's their own kid, but like if they meet a gay person who's cool and normal, they're like, oh, well, I mean, that's fine. I know this guy and he's gay, but like he's one of the good ones or whatever. And it's like, I mean, that's still a problematic way of thinking, but it does kind of like being cool to people or being like, you know, and it shouldn't be on the oppressed class to like be the cool one, but you know what I mean? Like, I do think the more people you know in real life or whatever who are like perfectly fine people, like you know, the more it's gonna like people will unlearn it, you know what I mean? Like it's tricky. You know, I know some people with kind of homophobic parents that have come around a little bit, very cautiously. Like they're still not quite there, but they, you know. I love my wife's parents, by the way, but like we joke. I hope it's okay that I'm just gonna say this on stream. Her dad referred to our wedding as the big soiree or something at some point. And we were just like, oh yes, our big soiree. It's like, he can't say wedding. He can't say wedding yet. Anyway, if that's not cool that I said that, I'll edit this out before the VOD goes up. Let's see. I never really knew gay people were a thing, but I also didn't see straight people as a thing either. Bruh. People were just people to me as a 7-year-old. Yeah, dude, 7-year-olds they're not worried about it. I don't think they know that despite best intentions, that's really a backhanded thing to say. Well, it implies they're doing something to save you because there's something wrong with you. Oh, about the praying for you thing? Yeah. It's the best. I struggle with this a lot too. Like I was trying to explain to my wife that when I hear someone say something like, oh, hate the sin, not the sinner, or whatever, I'm so from Missouri that I'm like, I'll take it. That's close enough to a win for me. Like, and she's like grew up in Portland, so she was like, no, that's still wrong. And I'm like, I know it's wrong, but like, I'm from an area where like I will take that, I will accept that as a W. And it's hard to like articulate why exactly, because it's like, well, it wasn't a hate crime. The bar is on the floor. So, and I would like the bar to be a little higher than that. But like I understand that it is still a backhanded thing to say, but I just I don't know. I just hope that it will raise over time. Maybe you can kind of like work on those people, right? Where they understand it's not a thing that needs to be fixed. When I came out, I got a fair bit of no, we accept you. I just don't see why it should be anyone's business from pretty well-meaning family members. Like, oh, it doesn't bother me, but you know, yeah. But just like a hypothetical other family member who's not me. Oh man. Sorry, I shook my phone and now it lost my spot. Okay. There's gay trauma happening in the chat. Okay. Would Jonathan be a Fall Out Boy fan asking for a friend? I don't know. Characters who happen to be gay instead of gay characters. That's a good way to put it. Okay, sorry. Oh, sorry. Okay, Blueberry Stars says, I'm scared I have Doug next semester. I didn't know you didn't have Doug yet. Yeah, I'm scared he'll ... no. I don't know what to tell you about that. He does, I mean, I think he knows a little bit. Like, I don't think he's like, he knows the extent of like the fandom or whatever, but like, you know. He's leaned into it a little bit. Not leaned into, I mean, like, he not too long ago put on his portfolio website that he did the voice of Jonathan in Welcome to Hell, so I think he's coming to terms with it. He's cool though. He's cool. I don't know what Doug is like as just an animation history teacher, but so that'll be interesting. But that is like his forte. Um, so yeah, I hope you enjoy his class. He's really really cool. At the time that I went to the school, he was like the head of the animation department. He was like teaching all the classes. Except like Maya. My mom is also bi, so my sexuality wasn't the issue, but my parents were crazy reactive to me being trans and assured it was me trying to be trendy until 4 years later nothing changed, and we're like, oh, I mean, it obviously doesn't excuse their behavior, but a bigot actually knowing someone they're hating on will make them go, oh, a lot. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Next fall for animation history. Sorry, I'm fascinated by everyone's stories. I'm like not animating right now. I'm just like reading everyone's gay trauma. When I told my parents I was pan, they were like, yeah, we already suspected Lamau. Yeah, I that's one of my favorite things when I have told someone that I was gay and they're like, oh yeah, I thought I knew. Like, I always kind of figured that. I'm just like, really? You did? That's so cool. Like, love that. Talk to my stepdad about my girl troubles. That's true, I do after school. Kids have never really misgendered me. And when the other, oh, that's cool that the kids correct them. I got asked when I was like a teenager by a young kid who was like young enough to not really know or care about gender stuff. Like, a genuinely, when I was in high school, a little kid asked me, are you a boy or a girl? And I was like, like, I like kind of didn't, like, on the one hand you're sort of flattered because you're like, oh, I read as something unique and different to this kid. Like, they can tell there's something queer, right? But also you're like I was a little like upset that that it's not clear that I was a girl. You know what I mean? Because it's like, oh, I'm failing being a girl. It's like, I'm not passing as the thing I was born as, like, right? Which is, it's almost like, I don't know, it's like reverse transness or something, you know what I mean? Just like the number of times where I've just been like, I'm not, anyway, you know what I mean? There's like, it's like, is it an acknowledgement that I am like, there's a queerness about me, which is cool, positive, or is it like an acknowledgement that I'm failing womanhood in some way, or that womanhood has been, or whatever, has been like, or for that matter, is it just like that, like, well, what is presented as like woman to a kid is such a narrow thing that encountering like a slightly butch woman like breaks their worldview. I don't know. Like, it was really complicated. I was like kind of honored, but also kind of offended, and I didn't really know how to respond. Anyway, I don't know. I've had that happen a couple times actually. And I'm just like, I don't really know what to do with that. Like, you're a teenager. I was a teenager myself, so I was like already kind of struggling with like, what do I feel about this? Okay, let's see. I'm doing art in high school, which one of my friends were queer, and then going to Cal State for college was a shift where suddenly I was the one that stood out. That's funny. That's so funny. I feel like a lot of people have... I had the opposite experience where it's like, oh, I went to art college, and it's like, oh, everyone is gay and weird here, and there's like one token Catholic kid. Like, you know what I mean? She ruled also. She was really cool. But like, I'm just saying, like, it's like, oh, I'm full of... It's this whole school full of little weirdos. Yeah, I know, I gotta change the stream title. I'm sorry, I'm catching up. How does Doug feel about Sakathin? I don't know if... Okay, when I say he knows, I don't know if he knows about Sakathin. I don't know. I've not asked him. Like, he's not the kind of person who's, like, interested in that kind of, like... He's, like... First of all, he's an animation historian, and in terms of animation, he's more of, like, an experimental animator, so, like, the kind of, like, fandom-centric, character-driven, like... That's not, like, his forte, or, like, a space that he, like, participates in. So I don't know, like, how much he knows about, like, fandom shit or anything like that. I genuinely no idea. I mean, I think he knows there's, like, fans of Welcome to Hell. He knows that, but... Well, that's, like, a really fucked up, funny frame. I don't know about it yet. Where am I gonna... Maybe I can do this one? I don't know. So many of these frames look like fucking insane on their own. Like, they don't look right at all. I'm gonna start on that end and have them meet in the middle somewhere. Ah! This shirt's the wrong color! Okay. Bruh. Okay. Yep. Back to my shading color. Beep, 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 beep. Okay, now I'm gonna try and work a little bit. This frame looks really bad and weird, so I kind of like don't want to linger on it too much. I don't want you guys to see, so I might have to pick a different one. He looks so haunted. Oops, that's the wrong layer. That's the wrong layer. What happened to my shading layer? Here it is. Here it is. I'll go this way. Oh, that's just like the zoom in. The zoom in. That's not... That doesn't need shading right now. I also haven't added his Tumblr nose yet. I'm not really sure how I'm gonna do that. Or if I want to do that, rather. I just don't know. I don't... Because anime doesn't really have, like, Tumblr nose type shading. Or, like, the way I shade is, like... Or the way that I've been doing these characters is, like... It's not like a gradient kind of shading, so I feel like anime would do more of a gradient. So I'm gonna probably fuss with that at some point and figure that out. But not right now. There. It's not filling all of the way. I can sense it. That's supposed to be the benefit of working without the aliasing on. And yet. Alright, what's Chad up to? Doug possibly doesn't know about the yaoi? Yeah. I don't think Doug knows about the yaoi. I don't think Doug knows the word yaoi. None of these words are in the Bible, you guys. You're an artist? Name every hex code. Yeah. I totally forgot what I was doing. I guess I can turn on the swoosh. No, that's not helpful. Not helpful. Yeah. Man, that was a good, I feel like that was a good combo. All that gay trauma just now. Someone asked, by the way, I mean, I talked about it a little bit, the way that my parents responded. I don't think I like fully answered the question, but someone asked like what it was like when I came out, and I think I came out to my parents in an email because I invited my girlfriend at the time to go on like a camping trip with me that I would go on with my friends every summer, and we were gonna like stay at my parents' place for like one night. I was like, well, I'm gonna have to tell them. Like, it's either tell my parents or tell my girlfriend to pretend like we're not together. And it seemed like, I guess it's time to tell my parents. So I kind of like came out to them in an email, because I'm a coward. And I don't remember their exact response, but they were like, cool, whatever. Like, they were also kind of like, you're in college, you can do whatever you want. Which is like also kind of a, you know, that's one of the stereotypes. But I don't know. It's, you know, then it kind of became like a thing of like, well, now I need to get them to take me seriously. You know what I mean? It's not just because I'm in college. Like, you know, on the one hand, like, I think they were kind of supportive in the sense of like, yeah, like, do whatever you want. Like, why not? Like, they told me at some point, like, you know, your grandma, my grandma on my dad's side, you know, grandpa died when I was kind of young, and she like was dating around, or I mean, she had like a long-term boyfriend for a while, but before that she was like kind of dating around, and she was seeing a couple guys at a time, and my mom thought that was so cool. She was like, dude, your grandma would be like, I'm not married to anyone, like, I do what I want. And so she like was like, who cares, like, get into a threesome if you want, like, you don't know anybody anything. And I was like, thanks for being supportive, Mom, but it's like, but it does mean something to me. It's not just like, who cares, I want to have fun. You know. But I mean, she got that eventually. It's just like, you know, it was kind of, this is certainly not the worst reaction that a parent could have. So but yeah, I don't know. It's just a little laggy, but not the worst. I've seen worse. Okay. Am I doing any other? No, I will erase. Erase. No! No! computer lagged into doing the wrong thing. Okay. What's chat up to? Let's see. I like number 0000 as a hex code. That's funny. Erase all the welcome to hell progress and go to McDonald's. Dude, I haven't McDonald's in so many years. I would love to have McDonald's. I did have a burger today. My wife brought home a leftover what do you call it? In-N-Out burger from like her work. I guess someone ordered catering or something. Someone ordered like a group order of In-N-Out, and she brought me home a burger, and I was like, yes, burger. I haven't had a burger in so long. I'm not one of those In-N-Out weirdos. I don't understand why the line is so long. It's just a burger, but it was nice to have a fucking burger. So I actually ate that for breakfast this morning. That was my breakfast. Anyway, sorry to any Californians in the chat. Sorry, not sorry. I'm not saying that In-N-Out is bad, but I am saying that you have a perfectly good habit. That you guys are... I don't understand why the line for the habit is not going out to the street at all hours of the night. That's all. That's all I'm going to say about that. Like, I think people... I lied. That's all I'm going to say about that. Continues to say more about that. I think when you're from a place and you have, like, a thing that's, like, a unique, like, food experience to that place, you kind of have to, like... It's your culture to defend that thing. But, like, I'm from St. Louis, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend, like... Emo's is the best pizza I've ever had. You know? Like, I'm not gonna do that. I don't feel the need to. I just think there's some degree of, like, you know, you're attacking my cultural identity if you attack. If you don't like In-N-Out, if you don't understand, it's like, I don't buy it. I don't get it. I'm sorry. Controversial opinion. Save it later. Oh, I'm just gonna use that erase. Alright, what's chat up to? Just treating in the background. Yeah, because there's birds. Isn't that arcane stuff? Yeah. Hex codes are like... Sorry, I'm all over the place. The window is open behind me because I want some fresh air coming in, but I don't want to turn the air on. So there's birds, there's planes, there's trains. So hex codes are like every color. Here, I'll show you. Is my... Well, I don't know. My screen's actually doing that. Can I pull up? Oh, wait, does TV Paint actually show them? I don't think it does. Does it? No. Wait. My God. Yeah, so basically, like, every color has a 6-digit code attached to it in the computer. Yeah, and that's a hex code. So if you need to like match a color exactly, you would type in the hex code. Ooh, I filled this wrong. This was filled badly. It's not going to show, but okay. Essentially, that's what hex codes are. For those curious. Okay, let's see what else is going on. Soccer that'll be canon. Yeah. TV Paint. Yes, I'm using TV Paint. Erica Go McDonald. I don't have any in and outs near me. Good, you're not missing anything. I know these are fighting words, but well, what's your local like burger place? Like what's your or like fast food chain that's like specific to your area? Or maybe you don't know that and that's fine too, but I just feel like everyone has a place, you know? That will work. Although I don't want it to look like that. Yup. Okay. Dude, this looks so insane right now. Okay. Burger for brekkie. Hell yeah. I wanted a little pink drink today, but I will not be able to go. Okay. The pink drink, that's a Starbucks thing, right? That's from Starbucks. What the fuck is the pink drink? People talk about it all the time. And I don't know what it is, and I'm too afraid to ask. You gotta order it animal style. Yeah. Dude, I want to order my pink drink animal style. That would be really funny, actually, to just say stuff like that. Like, just order it animal style at, like, some other place that's not fucking In-N-Out. Oh, sorry, that's what we say in California. That's what we say at In-N-Out. You wouldn't get it. You wouldn't understand. Oh my god. Okay. There we go. It's kind of a California thing. A friend of mine in St. Louis who's way cooler than me, when I came back to visit, she said something, like she said some abbreviation, and I didn't know it. And she was like, what the fuck? You're from LA. You're supposed to know this before everyone else. It's like, ugh. She's like, you live there now. This is where they make all of the lingo. I was like, I'm not cool. I'm not cool though. I don't even remember what it was. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm Californian and I also don't get the hype. It's a good burger, but it's not like ultra amazing. I get you. As someone from Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania? That's PA, right? I'm always defending Wawa. Oh, yeah. You guys... Wait. Wawa. Someone was telling me about Wawa the other day. Was it you? Hanny? Or was someone else telling me about Wawa? Because I thought someone was like saying something. I mean, might have been my wife, and I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Someone was talking about Wawa. Or have you ever been to Wawa? Oh, no. Okay, it was a friend of mine. She was just like, I was like, yeah, okay. Definitely someone in my real life recently was like, do you guys have Wawa? And I was like, Wawa? Are you thirsty? Is it true Jonathan will know that Sock died by the end of part 2? I mean, he kind of knows he died, right? Well, I mean, I guess he could just be a demon. Like, I guess he doesn't necessarily know that he is, like, a recently deaded guy. I guess that's interesting. Let's see. Where I live, most of the places that sell hamburgers aren't run by famous companies. It's just someone putting up a sign in people's houses saying, I had the idea to make hamburgers in people's houses. Were we talking about exposure to queer media earlier? My first experience was when I was like a really small kid and saw the emoji of 2 boys kissing. I just thought, that's funny. Anyways. Went to McDonald's after a con. Most packed McD's I've been to. But I said, oh yeah, like any food place like nearby a con is gonna be like filled with cosplayers. One of the times in college I went to a convention, we decided that we figured every place would be like loaded, and we decided to go to Hooters. I think there was a Hooters kind of nearby, and it was like, you know, the idea was like, well, if it's a place that's not like, I think no one wanted to be like stared at in their costumes, and they were like, well, if we go to Hooters, that takes some of the heat off a little bit, like, you know, like, okay, like, or maybe they did want to be looked at, maybe that was but the point was like, it's socially acceptable to come into the Hooters dressed as a big titty anime girl. Sort of the idea. Man, I don't like the way this looks. I don't know why. I was like, I'm gonna try this with the aliasing, the anti-aliasing off. And I just hate the way it looks. I mean, I know the idea is to like fuck with it later, but in the meantime, I'm like so bothered by it. Why am I doing this at all? Why am I doing any of this? Okay. Alright, let's see. Sorry, chat. If you're an artist, what color is this? Oh my god, I didn't even get it at first, you guys. I love Burger Shack and In-N-Out. Culver's is really good. Culver's is fine. Culver's has a nice buttery bun, if I recall. I think they're fine. Bud's Broiler. Nice. Gas stations. Alright, you got gas station burgers. Hell yeah. Dude, sometimes a gas station burger is the way to go. I don't know about every other place, but there's a gas station in the Midwest, or at least in Missouri. I don't know how far it extends around the Midwest, but there's a gas station called Quick Trip that actually has like pretty decent gas station food. They have like a little kitchen area, or they do now. They didn't used to. Well, they've always had pretty decent food, but they like leaned in, and now they have like a little kitchen area, and you can like order like pretzels and, you know, whatever. Anyway, so I don't know. I mean, And I'll eat the shit out of Quick Trip. So, you know, maybe it's a good gas station burger. Maybe you got a good gas station. I don't know. There was a Quick Trip next to the college that I went to, the art school, and that's how most of us ate. That was how we sustained ourselves. He sells lunch and light snacks and beer. The fries are amazing. Is the place good? No. It's like a toxic relationship and I don't want to break up. Pink drink with onions and sauce. Get a break pad change and ask for an animal style. Slather grilled onions all over your tires. That'd be fun. That'd be cool. If they slather onions all over my tires, then I get the nod of respect from other off-roaders. Oh, you wheeled the In-N-Out? Is a thing that people say to me all the time. Okay. Pretentious cafe drink connoisseur. Dude, I had a weird cafe drink. I went to this cafe not too long ago that had like a grapefruit coffee. It was like a coffee with grapefruit juice in it, and I was like, fuck me up, I guess. Like, was it good? It tasted like a coffee with grapefruit in it. Depression meal. Milkshake and fries with a plain burger. Strawberry cold foam. Mint matcha. That sounds yummy. Mint matcha sounds really good, but I'm also like, did they just think mint is green and matcha is green? Like, do you think that was or that's like alliteration? Like, I feel like that's where that idea comes from. I feel like I would try it. That sounds great to me, but I feel like it probably didn't come from anything other than, what if green and green? So this live stream will be about foods with strange names. Frittata, Wawa, what more? Wawa's a gas station that also does a lot of made-to-order stuff. They make banging hoagies. The Wawa is their logo because is a goose. But what? Is a goose? Is that the sound a goose make? Or is there a kind of goose called a Wawa? Or something? Because I thought goose go honk. But I guess it's kind of wah. Right? Like, I guess it is kind of a wah-wah. I always thought goose go honk. Oh, thank you. The shadows aren't going to be this... They're going to be, like less. But I was just kind of doing it in drastic to make it easier to see, I guess. What was there an East Coast thing? Nothing quite like seeing a collection of characters I've never interacted all grouped together in a McDonald's. Yeah. Chicken sandwich girly. I too am a chicken sandwich girly. I really struggle with... Okay, so I was just singing the praises of The Habit, which is a burger place. It's a burger chain. But I actually think the best thing on The Habit's menu is the chicken sandwich. So I'm kind of like, do I want? I'm going here because I want a burger, but also I know the best thing on here is a fucking chicken sandwich. Like, I'm torn. Okay. Who just went out of business recently? Oh no! The yearning I suddenly feel for a quick trip to keto is powerful. Yeah. Dude, bagel instead of burger bread is so good. I used to make eggy baggies. It was like, a breakfast sandwich with bagel, and they're so good. Tacos ingredients. Not In-N-Out, I meant 7-Eleven, but it was on my mind. Okay, 7-Eleven is another thing. In California, 7-Elevens, well, okay, I know no one can compete with the 7-Elevens of Japan, but 7-Elevens in California, compared to where I'm from, have pretty good food, I think. And also, 7-Elevens in California are on every single, like, corner. Like, every single neighborhood has, like, a 7-Eleven. And also, most of them are not gas stations, which is also interesting to me. I just saw a 7-Eleven gas station for, like, I think the second time since I've moved to California. In Missouri, they're all gas stations. So that was interesting to me too. But yeah, I think they have pretty solid food. The little, they have like little pressed juices that are like the knockoff of some other brand of pressed juice that I think is pretty good. They have kettle chips that are pretty good. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not above a 7-Eleven dinner. They never have it filled, but they have a blueberry coffee a lot of times. And I never see that one actually on, which is upsetting, but it is what it is, I guess. What am I doing? Okay. Do you believe that Lil will ever find out how JoJo died, or will she continue to be adamant on not telling anyone? I don't know. I think like once I figure out how JoJo dies, I think probably the first person she'll tell will be Lil. Like, Lil will probably be the first person to know. Because that feels like it would be a big character moment for, like, the two of them to, like, confide in each other or whatever. Oh my god, this looks like ass! Okay. Come on. Already did that. I should have done this in a different order. Fuck. Stupid. It's fine. Oh, I could do the outside. Never mind. I could do the outside fill. I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm gonna do a shade on the ahoge. Okay. What are you doing, Erica? What am I doing? Animating. I don't know if you just showed up, but I had a scene open from Welcome to Hell that was like, I don't know, too hard to work on while streaming. I don't have anything prepped right now to stream, but I didn't want to go all week without streaming. Everything that I'm working on in Welcome to Hell 2 right now, like, requires a little bit of undivided attention. So I was trying to do that, but then I gave up and I'm doing this instead. This is just like a little for fun animation that I'm doing of like a shot, kind of like an anime OP shot. I wrote like a little Welcome to Hell anime OP, and I don't know if it's just like gonna be a fun little side project or like if I should actually attach it to the beginning of Welcome to Hell 2. I was saying that earlier. Like, I think it could be kind of fun. I've had some friends tell me I should do that, but I don't know. I think it might kind of fuck with the like pacing or something, because it would be hard to like know where to come in from it after that. And also if I do it separately, then that's like another video on the channel. But anyway, also, I mean, I have no idea if I'm gonna like finish it. Like, at least a couple shots are gonna be finished because I thought it'd be fun to like color at least one and like kind of actually try and do it, like make it look anime. So we'll see. We'll see. What was the thing? You guys were making fun of me earlier. Maybe, and what's the other thing I say? Is it we'll see? Or I'll consider it? I have to go. Bye, Erica. Bye, chat. Bye, Paul, Jonathan. Bye. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Greetings from Mexico. Hello. Chicken bacon ranch sandwich. Oh my god, that's the best combination of things to go on chicken. Okay, I just clicked on this from suggested, and like, I hope you don't take this the wrong way, but are you the person that made the original Welcome to Hell such a big part of my teenage? Yes, I'm the person that made the original Welcome to Hell. I know you may not recognize me because what I'm working on right now is a completed, cleaned and colored animation, but yes, it me. Oh, okay. Wawa is named after the town, which is derived from the Ojibwa word, which is wewe for goose. That's interesting. That's cool. Oh, man. See, that makes sense, but I would have also believed you if you were like, goose goes wah wah. Like, I like this explanation better because that allows goose to still be honk honk. But that's cool. Oh shit, my wife is home. Hello, my wife.
Oh, my wife, are you streaming?
I am.
Is it okay if I cook possibly while you stream?
Yeah, I'm actually I'm gonna go pretty soon because it's like I hit the 3-hour mark a little while ago.
Oh wow, congrats!
Thank you. I've done my time.
You took a picture of the cookbook while on stream then?
Yeah. Oh, I hope that's okay. I was
no, that's fine. I'm just sorry that you had to. I interrupted your stream.
I'll show it to you. Actually, I was like, all right, chat, we're going to check the cookbook to see if the frittata needs milk. And I like held up the cookbook to the chat and everything, and I was like, my wife needs me to check this for the frittata tonight. We're gonna find out if we have milk or not.
We certainly don't have milk.
Yeah, and it doesn't need milk, so.
Okay. Well,
but yeah,
thank
I'll turn the stream off at some point so you can
to
cook in
viewers.
peace. No, it's okay. It's quite all right. They're along for the ride. Okay. She's indeed the person that made the OG Welcome to Hell. There's a sequel between... Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you for promoting me. That I always forget to myself. Yeah, there's a working on a sequel, and there's part 1 of it is out right now. Right. Okay. So you had sorry, jumping all around here. You had the reverse discovery that 7-Elevens could be gas stations, and you thought they were just convenience stores. I don't know why they're not in California. There must be a reason for it. They know the 7-Eleven would be too powerful if it was also a gas station. 7-Eleven recently had a huge push for better food in the last year. The Japanese... Okay, that's what I've heard. I've heard that, like, the 7-Elevens here are going to, like, Japanify. It's actually a Japanese company now. Okay, I didn't know that. That makes sense that you would know that, though. Yeah, I would love that. Like, bring it on. I already think they're pretty good. And I know you said, like, just in the last year, which is crazy because I have felt pretty much since I've moved out here that 7-Elevens out here have pretty decent food. So, like, that's cool. If they want to make it even better, awesome. Blueberry cold foam. What the fuck? That sounds so good. Okay. Blueberry coffee is like McDonald's ice cream. Is what? Is like McDonald's ice cream machine? Does McDonald's have a blueberry coffee? Or not? Or am I crazy? I should have gotten regular cold foam with regular matcha. I am crewmate. I am the good guy on the spaceship. I could slap the OP on the front of the deluxe vid with both parts tied together. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe you're still planning on uploading the full video of both parts together. You can put it on there. Is Sock still struggling with homicidal tendencies while he's with Jonathan, or has he been able to not think about it as much? Yes. Like, he's, you know, he's sort of torn between leaning into not struggling with homicidal tendencies, but, like, embracing them, and embracing trying to get Jonathan to like him. So he's struggling just in a different way now. Let's see. Hey, Eric, I just want to say I absolutely love your work. I've been hyperfixated on Welcome to Hell for around a year now. It's genuinely such a big part of my life now. Thank you. I'm glad. I hope you have gotten something out of it. That's awesome. Wife home. Hashtag Yuri. Yuri time. Yeah. I don't know much about birds. Yuri time. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's TV Paint. And I'm probably gonna... Oh, yeah, I'll save it. It hasn't been saved in a while. Probably gonna go pretty soon. So that we can make the frittata that I planted earlier in the chat. We're paying it off now. The frittata is happening. Hakuna frittata, you guys. But yeah, is the Christmas episode where Sock kills one of John's bullies still planned? You know, okay, I lied. I am going to talk about this. I'm not going to end it just yet. I really want to do that. That's like an idea that I had a long time ago. And, Sock can't kill people IRL. Like, just the convincing people to kill themselves is more what I mean. But he gets to sort of, like, lean into the sort of morbidity of that kind of thinking, I guess, is what I mean. He can't, like, actually physically kill people anymore. So yeah, a long time ago I had this idea for a Christmas episode where Sock kill... Oh, that's what you're asking about. How can Sock kill one of Jonathan's bullies? The idea was that Sock finds a loophole to possess Jonathan and kills this kid that's been, like, bothering him in class. And I wanted it to be really dark and edgy and fucked up and, like, really make you think. Because I was, like a teenager when I came up with this. And, like, not to be this guy, but, like, this was kind of, like, before a lot of shows were doing, like... This was, like, before BoJack and shit. It was before, like, you could just do a show where you're like, isn't this character really fucked up? And now you have to, like, kind of sit with that and, like, feel the guilt of that. And how do you forgive them? And how do they forgive themselves? And, like, and I kind of wanted to do some shit like that. And now that I'm a little older, I'm like, that would totally break the show. It would Frank Grimes the whole show. Like, I can't do that. So... But I do still want to do an episode that's about Sock breaking a really important boundary and coming very close to doing something like that. Like learning that there's a loophole, perhaps, where he can possess Jonathan and struggling with what he will do with that newfound ability. It would need to be like a loophole, like they can only happen under certain circumstances, you know what I mean? Like it can't be something that he could just like do randomly, I don't think. But they like discover it on accident, and he wants to think of a way to exploit that to use Jonathan's body to kill someone. And he kind of tries to frame it in a way like, I'm doing it for you. I'm doing it to protect you. Or like, no one should be able to hurt you except me. You know what I mean? Like he's kind of like literally possessive of him. And Jonathan's like, no, dude, that's not going to happen. Like, you know, and it kind of becomes this thing of like how far can Sock walk right up to the line without crossing it for the audience to still be able to forgive him? And this is something that I always think about it around Christmas time. And I was talking about it with my wife last Christmas, and I was like telling her some of my original ideas, and she's like, I don't think you can do that. She's like, that would make me really upset if I was a fan of this and you did whatever the thing was I described. She was like, that would like kind of break it for me. That would kind of like ruin it. And I was like, okay, well then what is a version of that would be like, then what's the angle? Like, what's a version of that would be acceptable? Like, where is that line exactly? And we were kind of talking about it, and she helped me sort of figure out where the line would actually be and how far, at least for her, like how far you could walk up to that line without crossing it. And I think we came up with like kind of a better version of that idea. So that was kind of cool, actually, being able to like bounce ideas off of someone who's actually a fucking writer. And it was cool. It was like, oh yeah, like I know there's something interesting that I want to explore here, but it's like an idea I came up with when I was like an edgy teenager, and now I want to do something more than just like, isn't this fucked up and edgy? Like I want to or like at the time, by the way, not that like BoJack is just a show that's like, isn't this fucked up and edgy? I'm not trying to say that. I do think the show has something to say, but I'm just saying like it was like not precedented to do a thing like that. Like a teenager just like, I'm gonna make a TV show one day. But like I think I don't know, but it wasn't like, I guess what I'm saying is like, I didn't really know, well, like why am I exploring this, or what exactly, it's not just an exercise, I guess, in like, what is the line, how far can we walk up to the line without crossing it for the audience to still be able to like Sock, but it's also like, how far can that go without like their whole relationship like totally like shattering, you know what I mean? Like it would have to be like, I also really I also really like the idea. Okay, sorry, I'm getting in the weeds thinking about it. Like, I also really like the idea of like a gift of the Magi kind of story, where you know that story where like the guy gets something for his wife. They both gave up something that they hold very dear to like buy to be able to afford a Christmas present for the other one, but the present that they got for the person is related to the thing that they gave up, so the point is that they both love each other and they both like made sacrifices for each other or whatever. I like the idea also of doing like a really fucked up gift of the Magi kind of thing where the thing Sock gives up is like maybe like his overwhelming desire to exploit this loophole, and like Jonathan actually does something like super considerate and sweet for him. So it's like really unbalanced. I don't know, like just like cool, thanks. Like though I know that's a big character moment for you or whatever, but like it's kind of fucked up. Like I don't know, I'm not sure exactly. It's something I still kind of want to play with, but I'm just trying to figure out what that might be. But yeah, that's the Christmas episode. Yeah. Oh, no, and he wouldn't frame Jonathan for murder. He would, like, get away with it. Like, he was like, don't worry, I covered the tracks and everything. Like, don't worry, I took care of it, But then that would, like, always be a thing that we're, like, now we have to deal with, like, okay, like, one of the kids at school is missing. And, like, now that, you know what I mean? Like, it would kind of fuck up the whole, like, that would be a big deal. Like, you can't just, like, kill a random... It's also a very teenager way of telling a story to be, like, I don't know, and then, like, a fucked up bad guy, like, who's just, like, a mean bully guy, or, like, a gang member shows up, and, you know what I mean? It's just, like, to have, like, a bad guy for the sake of, But I do kind of have a character that I could use as, like, a bully character, but I don't want to kill him. Like, that would be insane. That would be... It gets so drastic. Like, that would be a huge deal. I don't know. And then they'd have to deal with that, like, the loose thread of, like, now there's a murder mystery, or there's, like, a missing persons case at, like, Jonathan's school. I don't know. I just don't think I want to do that. Like, I think maybe it's more about, like, toying with the idea of crossing that boundary and then not. Or something. I don't know. Not sure. But... yeah, we'll see. I do still want to do that idea. I do still like the idea of, like, a fucked up Christmas special. But I need to find a way to make it, like, not so fucked up that it ruins everything. And that's hard. That's hard for me. Because I just love fucking up and ruining everything. It's kind of my thing. It's fun. Anyway, yeah, that's the Christmas episode idea. Kinda, sorta. Anime shading doesn't make any fucking sense. Okay. Sockets and fans will love the next part. I mean, hopefully. It's gonna be a lot of, getting into the weeds, as it were, in the second one. Merry Christmas, I guess. Yeah, that's the way it ends. Does Sock know about Jonathan's pressed flower collection? Pressed weed collection? I don't know. He's probably seen it before. Oh, wait. Okay. You're asking, does he actually know about it? Or is Shadow Jonathan just saying that? I like if Sock knows about it. I don't know. Oh yeah, I gotta do this color. Alright, I am probably gonna leave pretty soon. Because we gotta make that fucking frittata. We gotta make that frittata. Frittata is my favorite Pokemon. Shit. Okay. Alright. Jonathan spends a whole episode trying to save his bully from Sock. That would be funny. That'd be pretty good. Sock lived pretty close to Jonathan when he was alive, right? Generally Midwest. That's been my, this is the way I've been thinking about it. They could be from totally different places, but, I don't know. I'm writing what I know. So they're probably both from, like, vaguely around the same area. Just vaguely the Midwest. Alright. Well, cool. Nice hang, you guys. I'm gonna go, and so my wife can make dinner in the background, and I can help her because I'm a good boyfriend who always helps my wife make dinner. And, yeah. Thanks for hanging out. Can I stay for dinner? Maybe. If you can make it. If you can make it here in time. But yeah, I will stream next week sometime. Usually it's Thursday. Today it was Friday. But yeah, sorry, I'm running out of brain power here, but thanks guys for tuning in, and for asking me questions and whatnot. And yeah, I will see y'all next time. Goodbye. Alright. It's gonna take a second to end.